Devastating to a wooden fence. I used to be a wooden fence owner of an older wooden fence, so keeping those things where they need to be, not always easy.
Yeah, that's, I don't want to say it's a capital offense, but if you were to get just, shot and maimed over, I don't think these kids realize how expensive these wooden fences are.
Yeah.
Like wood is very, very expensive material right now.
To repair that, it's gonna be over $1,000.
God, you could only wish there was a couple of attack dogs.
Well, no,
Some Canary Isle dogs back there just waiting on them.
Think of how if they do any research on how the fences are put up, because just a couple of X'd 2x4s on the other side of those things nailed in properly.
Yeah, I mean, look, ask Bump Bailey playing center field for the Knights. You remember how that went?
Yeah.
And in the natural?
Yeah. Okay.
He went through a fence and...
Okay, let this cycle
DOA.
around again. Let this cycle around again. I want you to pay attention to the guy in the red hoodie, pinkish hoodie. He will end up not. He went through that one. Coming up here in the next sequence, I think. He sort of, not this one. He backs out. There we go. Ready? Stop. See him stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch him. Stop. Come on, dude.
Oh, he caught hell because he's the only one that didn't go through.
That didn't go through. Yep.
Not enough guys bouncing off the fence. I'm right there with you. I hope they, would hit something a little harder.
I do love we're shaming the one person that wasn't committing a crime on video here.
Well, he was, but he stopped. He wanted to be part of it, but no.
He lost his lane.
Let's say, man, I get so, I was never a peer pressure guy. Again, I talk a lot openly about my love for edibles, but I never did any drugs at all in high school. But I do get worried about, if Jack's around a bunch of dudes and they do some dumb shit like this, does he get roped into it?
Oh, 100%. I mean, they always have. Like me hitting a mailbox. I mean, that was, what wasn't around that night when we were crushing mailboxes with baseball bats? Girls.
Or cameras.
If girls were around, you know what we wouldn't have been doing? We wouldn't have been crushing mailboxes with bats. We'd been kissing girls. You know what's not in this video? Girls.
Kissing girls.
Girls.
It should be a PSA played in every school. Jim, I'm going to talk to you today about the number one thing that's going to keep you out of trouble.
Girls.
And that's kissing girls.
Yeah. I mean, look, if there's a girl there, you're not doing this stupid crap.
They're probably doing it to try to impress girls.
Do you see a girl? I don't see a girl.
No, that's why they send it out on their social media.
Yeah, they're all sitting there. They're all, hyped up on testosterone because there's no girls around. So they go do this, just like us that night. It was a Friday night, and we didn't have any girls around, so we went and started busting mailboxes because there were no girls. If girls had been around, we'd have been doing other stuff that could have gotten us in trouble, but we wouldn't have been busting mailboxes.
Yeah, but I would rather my kid get a misdemeanor arrest than knock up a girl.
I understand that.
Yeah.
If this was the Coyote cartoon, the old coyote would run through that wall, and it'd be brick on the other side, a second fence.
Or there would be another cliff, and he would just go straight over.
The cliff on the other side. Now, if somebody had dug a big hole, a big trench, and these guys all fall into that.
You know what's so jacked up? Let's say that somebody had that barrier kind of as a safety barrier, and they did have a cliff on the other side. One of those kids goes through, they go down, snap the neck, and die. Then the homeowner probably gets sued, and they probably end up, their homeowners has to pay off on this thing.
Okay, that one, there was like 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys going through. If they had the Coliseum spikes turned sideways on the other side, and they went through there and the spikes were there, this would be a different story at that point, wouldn't it?
Home defense, that's what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Yeah, my favorite was the dude just walking to school, just go sideways into the fence with like the heavy ass backpack. That one was out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the one you don't want your daughter dating at that point. He's just out of nowhere, does crazy stuff.
That's all I got.
That is Trash Today, as always, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We're looking forward to being out at Regions coming up on Wednesday. I get the feeling, I know how Brown and I feel about it, you love this Wednesday at the Regions, the interviews we do in the Coca-Cola interview room, don't you?
Yeah, a lot of fun. And I do. And when you look at...
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access Jim anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com. Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We are not, in fact, in the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. I mean, I guess those are always on the road with us, but we are live at the Regions Tradition, presented by Coca-Cola at Greystone, annual event. Every single year we do this, and this is Pro-Am Day. It's the big day out here at Greystone. We were in the Walk-Ons tent, the Champions Club on number 10. I'll just say up front, I know many of you want to get out here and see us. It is a ticketed area. Very hot ticket, by the way.
It is. And this is a great setup. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know how many years in a row. I know we did the outdoor with the umbrella tent, which is now the White Claw
watering hole.
Is this number 10?
This is number 10, yeah.
Yeah, number 10 on the tee box.
Yeah.
But for the last few years, we've been in here. But I was telling Matt Roth, the owner of the local franchises of Walk-Ons, this is the best setup I've seen. You know, I don't know if this is good or bad. We're out of harm's way this year.
Yeah, we're not going to get hit.
I kind of liked back there where we had one of the amateurs would come up, and when they would tee off, we'd be like, this guy's got a shot at hitting us.
I think we ducked a couple times. Yeah, I mean, there was one time I think one came in kind of hot. Poor Scott always had his back to it. We were at least facing it, could see. Now it's flipped around. Scott's fine. But, boy, if one gets up in here, it has been a terrible golf shot.
Yeah, we've got better chance of the rapture today than a golf shot coming in here and striking somebody, right?
Which one to make bigger news, the rapture or us getting killed by a golf shot?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think you know the answer to that. But beautiful day, and this is so fitting because, you know, even yesterday we had this afternoon rain shower, and I guess the rain is a good thing, right? But
yeah, we need it.
But it affects people in different ways, you know, different businesses, and my wild-ass Vishlas when they can't get out and run in the rain.
Oh, yeah, they're no good.
But, I mean, this is going to be perfect weather. This might be, and this is not hyperbolic, I think this might be the best lineup of celebrities they've ever had.
It is really good. I mean, when you consider, well, you got Nick Saban, you got Kalen DeBoer, so the last two Alabama coaches. You've got Hugh Freeze, who was playing. You've got Nate Oats, the Alabama basketball coach.
Hey, I'm gonna grab, because it's going to tell you what time they're going to be through 10, so I'll just make this easy.
Yeah, you got Charles Barkley. You've got, let's see, who else is out here? Riley Green. I saw Jamie Johnson's name. Do you know who Jamie Johnson is, Lance? You're aware.
Yeah, I mean, Dunaway accused me of being a
music snob.
No, no, not close. A country music, a closet country music fan.
Closet country music fan.
So yes, I know who Jamie Johnson is.
Yeah.
Does he still have the wild ass hair?
Last time I saw him, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's a.
Did him and Riley Green clean up a little differently?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say Riley probably, like, if nobody knew that anybody's a country music star, we're just normal people out at a bar, Riley probably does better than Jamie.
You know what I would love to see? We've got a Riley Green line and a Jamie Johnson line, and let the groupies pick.
Yeah. Well, I know all the young girls will be in one and all the music lovers will be in the other. But Jamie Johnson he's actually, I really, really like Jamie Johnson. Jack State Gamecock, by the way.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
So Nate Oats is going to, and these are just roundabout times. So Nate Oats will be coming through here between 10 and 10:30.
Right.
Bo Jackson between 10:10 and 10:40. Hugh Freeze, 10:20, 10:50. Had a really good conversation with Kyle Rush on the barn last night about.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's up and available now. Kirby Smart, 10:30 to 11. AJ McCarron, 10:40 to 11:10. Greg McElroy, 10:40 to 11:10. Kalen DeBoer, 10:50 to 11:20. Our man Chuck, Charles Barkley, 11 to 11:30. Nick Saban, 11 to 11:30. Riley Green, 11:20 to 11:50. Jamie Johnson's obviously paired with Riley Green, which is kind of weird, right?
Well, it's the whole Jack State group there. A couple Jack State Gamecocks.
11:20 to 11:50. Rich Rod will not be out here today. No, and finally, Senator Tuberville. He doesn't go Tommy Tuberville. He goes Senator.
Wouldn't you? I think if I was a senator, I would go by Senator Brown.
So we've got Scott Forrester here on site, the one of our resident Auburn fans. I mean, what is the bigger accomplishment, undefeated in 2004, or being a United States Senator? Early 4 downs questions for you guys.
Well, I mean, I will say this.
I would rather be the head coach of an SEC team that went undefeated.
Yes, than be a senator.
Yeah.
I mean, oddly, it's crazy I'm going to say this. I think the head coach works more than the senator does, but the head coach also makes more than the senator does.
I hate to say this.
Legally.
Is this fair? Tuberville had to have talent to coach Auburn. He doesn't have to have the same amount of talent to be a senator.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, you get the right people around you, right?
And to a certain extent, the election could be a popularity contest.
I did notice there is a couple of people that are supposed to be celebrities and aren't on there, but that's interesting.
I didn't. I noticed one of those. Talked to that one earlier today.
Well,
don't let him see that.
Maybe it's a hint.
In case you're wondering why Dunaway's seat is empty, annually he does the first tee introductions. So Dunaway's over on the first tee doing the, welcome to the first tee, Senator Tuberville.
Yeah, and it's going to be boring this year. I don't know if you were around when Dunaway and I were talking about this. I think it was Monday when you were out.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm going to be on the first tee box. And I was like, do you want me to write, some of the intros? I don't know. We did those last year. I think I'm going to go more serious this year. You want to be boring and kill the mood.
Yeah, why are we going to go serious?
I mean, these guys know their accolades. You got to have a little fun with it, right?
They know who they are.
What was my Barkley Ozempic last year? 2 things that scare Charles didn't. Wow,
the 2 things that don't scare young girls, Charles Barkley and Ozempic or something like that?
I forget.
Yeah.
No, it was more of a shot at Barkley with the big girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Something about big booties. Did he use that one or not?
He did not.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's
why are you not playing this year? You played last year, right?
No, I'm playing several years. I think.
No, because you played recently. No, you played 2 years ago for sure.
I did not.
Yeah, you did with Mike Mill.
You've lost track of time. We were still in radio when I did that.
You're positive?
Almost.
No, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah. We've been in this tent for 3 years, have we not?
Yep.
I haven't missed a show here, and then we had the infamous Umbrella show. That was year one. I don't think I have played since we started this venture. I really don't think so.
So it was you, Daly, Mike Mill,
Wimp, me, John Daly, Mike Mills of REM, Wimp Sanderson, Taylor Hicks, and that was it. Yeah.
I just don't think it was that long.
We were still in radio.
Well, I mean,
I promise you.
Forrester would remember this. Do you remember when he played with those guys?
No, because you were working at ABC 3340 at the time because we were in radio.
You're not good with timelines.
But you clearly are not. I know I have not played in this. It's like 2018, I think it was, yeah.
I remember I got invited to play when they used to do 2 pro-ams.
Yeah.
And I was terrified. And I think I've told you this story. Well, the last time we played golf, I went out to the Legacy because my late father-in-law was a member out here. And I went out and hit balls for a week straight because I was just terrified on how bad I was going to play. And I actually played the best round of golf I've ever played out here with Jim Thorpe. Is Jim Thorpe still with us?
I believe Jim has passed. Jim Dent passed. I think Jim Thorpe also passed, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't look at the best health. Great personality.
Apologies to the Thorpe family if he's still with us.
Yeah.
But I think he might have passed. No, it has been that long since I've been out here. I just when we, that was when we were doing morning, so I really didn't have to miss a whole lot to play. But once we started this, I just told them they were very kind to keep. They've quit asking now because they know I'm going to say no, I guess, or they've moved on to better celebrities.
He's alive. Wow,
an idiot like me. Jim Thorpe still with us.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Apologies to the Thorpe family.
Did I tell you? Like I had no idea because I'd never played in one of these pro-ams before, and about a month after the pro-am, this huge package shows up at my doorstep.
Right.
UPS, FedEx, I forgot. Ring the doorbell. I go up there, this big box, and it's one of those you're like, I didn't order anything.
Yeah, so
what could this
somebody did something to my house by mistake.
I lift it up. It's local. It's heavy. I open it up, and it's a big bronze golf statue. We came in second.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that you got a trophy for finishing second? Wow. How about that?
I tell you, my favorite thing about coming out here used to be, you probably still get it. I don't anymore, but they used to give us the Peter Millar.
I do not get that. I don't know why you would think I get it. You don't.
Oh, the Peter Millar gift cards, though.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, and you just get to go in there and shop.
Yeah, I did get it when I played, and you would just go in there and pick it out. And like you said, a couple weeks later, UPS shows up to your house.
Awesome.
With a box full of Peter Millar.
Big fan of that.
Yeah, that was not bad at all. So we will be out here all day. Coming up after the show, you'll catch all of this on demand. A lot of the names he just read, obviously they're on the course while we're doing the show. But we'll talk to them in the Coca-Cola room with the Coca-Cola conversations, and we'll release those throughout the next month or so on demand. So all those names Lance just mentioned, you'll hear those on demand.
For the stay-at-home tennis/golf mom, yoga, fitness, they love Lululemon. Is Peter Millar kind of that high end for the casual golfer?
Oh, Peter Millar, yeah. I mean, that's pretty high end. A lot of people like Peter Millar. Peter Millar, Stitch, Roback is really, really good. Obviously, one of our great sponsors, TNR 20 for Roback.
Because I just had a pair of Peter Millar shoes that I thought were all. I didn't know they were Peter Millar, but they popped up on my Instagram.
That's what I got.
And they're like really, really, really clean white, which is a great color, but you can't wear them anywhere. But they've got that Rams blue on the bottom sole, and I was like, I've got to have them.
Have these?
So I ordered them the other day.
Very comfortable.
And now all I get on my pop-up on Instagram is Peter Millar stuff, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not really Peter Millar's market. I don't play a lot of golf, but I guess you can just wear it casually.
Andrew says Grayson. That's another one. Johnny
O.
O.
Grayson's great.
I like Grayson.
Yeah.
The thing is, like as a golfer, you probably, I think this is true of any like brands or whatever. They fit you differently, right? And you got to find the ones that fit you right, and that's the ones you stick with. So I've discovered those, and that's what I get.
Yeah, and I mean, it is interesting depending on like how you're built. Like certain things just can't work.
Yeah.
Certain brands, like is there a brand like Billy Reed? I love Billy Reed. A guy from Alabama.
Yeah.
He's one of the best designers as far as men. He does some women's stuff, but I've got a long torso.
Yeah.
And so for a guy that's 6'3", I've got shorter legs, longer torso. But these shirts are more made for the short torso. And it's hard to find the in-between right cut for me because I don't want it too long, but too short really sucks.
Yeah, for me, it's Johnny O. They just do not fit me right. They hit me in places that it's just, I don't. First of all, I kind of like loose-fitting clothing. I don't like clothes touching me.
You don't like to show off that bod?
I don't like to show off, sun's out, guns out. But Johnny O just hits me in the wrong spots, and that's more of a me issue, not a Johnny O issue.
It's so funny. I got multiple Johnny O gifts from my kids for Christmas, and I know why now. Does Johnny O do a lot of the team brands?
They've started some of that,
Because
just about everybody has.
I got a quarter zip, which I really like, quarter zip Dodger Johnny O, and then the L.A. Johnny O hat that you guys have complimented me on before.
Yeah, I do like that hat. So we'll be here all day. We'll be here until 12 o'clock. Daryl Moose Johnston is going to join us. I'm curious. We'll bring up with Moose. Obviously, he's with the United Football League now, but NFL great, and we'll be doing the NFL on Fox this fall. I want to bring up with him his former teammate, Hall of Famer Troy Aikman, as these games continue to leak out, and we'll give you some more in just a moment that have leaked out. They actually make a few announcements before tonight's unveiling of the actual schedule. Part of that was Troy Aikman on Good Morning America with Joe Buck as they promoted the Monday Night Football package on ESPN, and he predicted the Dallas Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. Now, before you're like, oh, sure, Troy Aikman, he's critical of the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, he is.
I mean, it's not like he's just Cowboys homer because he gets – as the guy on Fox gets a ton of Cowboys games.
Well, you know that I love the George Pickens move. Now, whether George Pickens gets head out of ass, we shall see.
Only George knows that.
But I do believe George in a much better situation with a night and day quarterback.
Yeah.
Now being the second option as opposed to the first option behind CeeDee Lamb, which, on any given Sunday is the best receiver in the NFL. I think this offense is going to be so explosive. And, it wouldn't shock me. You go back, this past year was a disaster. A lot of injuries.
Yeah.
But 3 consecutive 12-5 seasons before that. So they were really close. They just didn't do anything in the postseason.
Yeah. So we'll talk with Moose about that. And we got some ABA to discuss. As I mentioned, some NFL schedules leaking out. We'll discuss some of that in a moment. But we remind you of our friends from Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online at johnstonrvcenter.com. That's where you find them online. They've got rates that fit just about everyone. Starting as low as $129 a month, you can get in something at Johnston RV Center, from the motor homes to the toy haulers, the fifth wheels, the tow behinds, all that right there at Johnston RV Center. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online at johnstonrvcenter.com. Also, great time to talk about walk-ons. You can see it behind us if you're watching us. We are in the walk-ons Champions Club tent on the 10th hole, but you can go by walk-ons anytime.
It's just so funny, seeing and one of my boys, Jace, works out here. He was like, man, we got to show up at Walk-ons at 5:45 a.m. Why the hell we got to go that? Like, Jace, it's a big deal. When you get out to the course, you're going to know this. But it's so funny. The first guy I saw when I walked in was Jason, one of our favorite bartenders, with his man pulled back really tight.
Yeah.
They're already serving drinks out here. But you and I, both the regular fixtures, the walk-ons right here. What is it called? Oh, my gosh.
Tattersall Park.
There we go. Tattersall Park.
It took a second.
Just incredible food, and just a great place to hang out, great place to watch all the games. But love Matt Roth, Ken West, all the fine folks at Walk-Ons.
All right, so let's talk some NBA. We'll start right there with the games that happened last night. The Pacers close out the Cavs, which I think when this series started, that's a surprise to you. 114-105 last night. They don't just close them out. They win that series 4-1.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise. Not that big of a surprise. Not nearly what it's surprising of what's going on the other side of the conference.
But maybe a 4-1 is a surprise, right?
You know, I go back to this. The NBA players voted for different categories, and most overrated player, they went Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton is becoming a dog. And, you know, going back to his Iowa State days, now he will chirp. We know his dad will chirp. He's been banned from all these games.
Well, we see why.
But you saw him wave into the Cleveland crowd. Cleveland's offense really good this year. I know Donovan Mitchell extremely, upset about the season they had. And now when you look at the postseason, I mean, this is going to be one of the more disappointing seasons in Cavs franchise history. I mean, to not make it at least to the conference finals, I think Indiana, I mean, right now, this is crazy. The Knicks are favored to go to the NBA Finals.
That is insane.
They're minus 110 to win the Eastern Conference Finals. I think plus 550 right now on the Celtics down 3-1.
I wonder what you could have got the Knicks for to win the NBA championship to start the year. What would you guess?
40 to 1.
40 to 1.
Yeah, 40 to 1.
They're a series away in which they're favored, a series away from being in the in the NBA Finals.
If you just went back a month ago, going into the postseason, you probably could have gotten them at 25 to 1.
Yeah,
just because of their path. Once they get out of the first round, home court to the defending champions in Boston. They were going to have to win that, which it looks like they will. Then if Cleveland obviously would have gone on and won that series, they would have had to go on the road to Cleveland. And then obviously once you get to the finals, you got to, play really, really good team from the West. So I think the odds were really significant stacked against them, even going into the postseason. So this could be just a miraculous run. You go back to 1999, probably the only NBA Finals I'll ever watch on a honeymoon.
Yeah,
but
I would say now probably so.
I was honeymooning in a grill, and I remember the first question. You were sitting in this semicircle at Sandals,
right? And
I had two questions for them. They got all the couples, and you're drinking champagne. First question was like, "Hey, will you guys have the NBA Finals on?" And everybody looks at me like,
"Who is this idiot?
You just got married. You care about the NBA Finals?" And I'm like, "It's the 8-seed Knicks against Tim Duncan and the Spurs." And then my second question, they went around and they were talking about different restaurants and bars, and they were like, "This one closes at 2. This one closes at 2." And I was like, we're in a different country and it's all inclusive. Do you have a bar that's open later than 2?
What were the answer? What was the answer to the second one? Oh, no.
Yeah, and I just
sounds of it. No.
I continue to get people all week that would come up. There he is. There he is. You found a 5 a.m. bar to watch the Knicks and the Spurs. But this might be the most miraculous run since that 1999 Knicks team that was an 8 seed that actually got to the NBA Finals.
Zach says Pacers are trying to evolve to the 2010 Spurs style. It's fun to watch. You see that with the Pacers? A little vintage Greg Popovich?
Yeah, possibly. Those Spurs teams were so freaking good. And I hate to give them credit, but they were one of the best fundamental teams we've ever seen in all of basketball.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, if Indiana wants to even scratch the surface, they're going to need to put another addition on there with Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton.
Daniel says Pacers shoot a ton of mid-range and not as many threes. They hustle a lot. Well, I mean, that style can win in the NBA. You see the Celtics have gone away from that style a little bit, and it perhaps cost them this series.
And I'll tell you who was
shot from beyond the arc.
Really good at that style was, one of the bigger surprise champions. You remember when the Pistons matched up with the Knicks, and it was, Bo Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton.
Yep.
And
I didn't like watching those teams.
Oh, I mean, they were boring to watch.
Were,
They were, again, a really good fundamental team, and Rip Hamilton shot the 15-foot jumper as well as anybody in the history of basketball.
Yeah, I would have. You're absolutely right about all those things, but I hated watching those teams play. On the other side, you've got the one good series. I mean, really, these conference semifinal series haven't been that great when you look at. They've maybe been entertaining, but not close, I guess the best way of putting it. But you do have Nuggets Thunder, and the Thunder defend home court last night, 102-105. That is now a 3-2 Oak City lead, so the Nuggets staving off elimination the rest of this series.
That was such a big game. And, the Nuggets had every opportunity. And, Jokic hasn't had his best series, but he went absolutely off. Did everything he could possibly do to win that game for the Nuggets. Think they're going to end up running out of steam. And this T-Wolves team's dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised. I hate to say this out loud, if the T-Wolves win it all. Now, I still will stay with OKC. I don't think there's a lot of people that believe in OKC. Yeah. But I think the Thunder are becoming a really, really dangerous team.
Wow. So
and I can't imagine if Anthony Edwards, because I was thinking about this the other day. So Harper and Bailey are going to be your first two guards taken in this NBA draft.
Okay.
And both the backcourt of Rutgers that didn't even make the NCAA tournament. How do you have not only one guy like that, but two? And then I go back to Anthony Edwards when he played at Georgia. He was one and done and goes number one overall. They didn't make it to the postseason. They had a sub-500 record. Ben Simmons, number one
LSU.
They didn't make I just don't understand.
Kevin Durant was one overall, right? And they were one and done in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. I just don't understand how talented. But if you've got two of those guys, it's kind of crazy that you can't survive in advance. But Anthony Edwards now, such a young guy and one of the young budding stars in the NBA, but he's got an opportunity, really, the way this postseason's shaking out, to maybe win a championship, Minnesota's first ever.
Still, Kevin Garnett's the greatest player in that organization's history, but Anthony Edwards, I mean, if he brings them a championship, could one day be that guy maybe?
I don't have the shower thoughts that Dunaway has,
okay,
but I have some weird ones.
All right.
And I was thinking about the all-time Timberwolves team the other day.
That is a very weird shower thought. I mean, outside of Kevin Garnett, Lance, you're going to press me to name the other.
Sam Cassell, Latrell Sprewell.
I forgot Spree played up there.
Kevin Love.
Wasn't Spree mostly Milwaukee, though?
Yeah.
Milwaukee and Portland, right?
No, Spree was Golden State. He's from Milwaukee.
Okay, maybe
never played at Milwaukee.
All right.
But he had really good years with the T-Wolves.
All right.
But I know for sure Sam Cassell would be there. Obviously, Kevin Garnett, Kevin Love in his early days.
K-Love, yeah.
Anthony Edwards now.
I think
Karl Anthony Towns would have been there before he got traded. Now they're like, we love Julius Randle.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that starting five is going to go too deep against all the all-NBA starting fives.
Well,
that's a good one, though.
Yeah, like if you went franchise by franchise, you're going to take the Lakers. I mean,
well, of course.
I mean, can you
Lakers
imagine?
And Celtics are going to dominate this.
Magic, Kobe, Shaq, Wilt Chamberlain, and let's just throw James Worthy in there.
We gotta have a four, right?
I mean, do they win 80 games?
Probably. I mean, the problem is
that would be the Yankees. They've run out of numbers to retire.
Yeah, right.
And they've got a lot of 77s out there. Like if you had to assemble the greatest franchise of all time, life depended on it, and they had to win their respective championship, don't you think it would be easiest to go to the Lakers?
Probably go to the Lakers. The problem is,
and I'll let Del Harris coach them.
The problem is Kobe ain't going to get the ball enough with the rest of those guys. Kobe won't get his shots.
He doesn't need them. Whoever takes it doesn't really matter, right?
He used to take them, though. Kobe would take some shots now.
Oh, I didn't even throw Kareem. I mean, imagine if you just did.
Kareem's on the bench.
Well, if you just did Magic, Kobe, Kareem, Wilt, and Shaq, nobody gets a rebound.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they'd win 80 games, 80-2. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Forrester wants some love for Wally Zerbiak.
Oh, hey, you know the thing.
He could shoot free throws, right? Wasn't Zerbiak one of the great free throw shooters of all time?
I don't know about that. But Zerbiak had the pride of Miami of Ohio, had an Italian Greyhound back when you remember Furio and Lucy.
I remember you had Italian Greyhound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Zerbiak, great player, though. That's a pretty good call. He's not a bad analyst.
We went to, I kind of like Wally Zerbiak on the TV. We went one time to see the Cavs.
Hey, by the way, whoever this, real quick, sorry. Yeah. Whoever this, how many are in these groups? 5?
5. Somebody stopped one?
Well, I mean, you've got. Is that their tee shots?
Yeah, let's see. That's a pretty good group right here.
You've got 3 teams within 15, 20 feet of the pin.
We'll see if we recognize anybody and give them a shout out. We went one time when Kyle Korver was playing, and he is a tremendous free throw shooter.
No, that's when we went over to Atlanta, right?
Yeah, we went to Atlanta to see
the Cavs.
LeBron with the Cavs, and Kyle Korver came through, and that dude, you're like, Korver will not move the net all night shooting free throws. And buddy, he did not.
Did not. LeBron, that was the night. Well, I think there's a lot of nights. I mean, watching LeBron play defense in a regular season game.
Yeah. He was playing for the playoffs. He's getting ready for the playoffs. All right, as we continue, Dunaway is going to join us in a moment, straight from the first tee. Twin Peaks brings you part of the show today. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. Dunaway threw me off there. He's got his starter's jacket on.
He does.
Not the starter. Would you rather have a starter's jacket?
No, I want the Dolphins starter jacket.
Starter jacket. I want to give you these updated copy points. So give me 1 second.
Sure.
Yeah, this is one of those. I told you when we sat down, I was like, boy, we're doing everything on the fly, and I am not going to have copy points for anything. Here we go. Cinco's over, right?
It is. Yeah, don't do the
Mother's Day's over.
That's past. Don't do Mother's Day.
How about this? Conference finals.
There you go.
We tipping off May 20th. This is how far out they prepare. So we're not far from the conference finals. Watch the games, wall-to-wall scenic views, round of 29-degree drafts with your crew. Who you got making it through to represent the East and West? Who do you have right now?
Right now, I am going to take the Knicks facing the Thunder. I'm going Knicks Thunder.
I will go Pacers Thunder.
Okay.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks, whatever your preference. They've got everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits, cocktails served over ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails, round out an adventurous drink menu, second to none. And don't forget, again, the 29-degree drafts. Get into one of those great locations today of Twin Peaks.
All right, obviously we are at Greystone. We're in the Champions Club on number 10, presented here by our friends at Coca-Cola. Don't forget, you can catch the Regions all weekend long. The Legends of Golf, I'm aware. Return to Birmingham. It's the Regions tradition presented by Coca-Cola here at Greystone. This weekend, the tournament starts tomorrow. The Pro-Am day is today. You still got plenty of time to get out here and enjoy the Pro-Am. Some of golf's greatest names like Ernie Els, John Daly, Stuart Sink, competing for one of golf's most prestigious titles. 4 days of thrilling shots, unforgettable moments, and world-class golf, all in support of local charities. It's the Regions tradition presented by Coca-Cola. Get your tickets now, regionstradition.com, regionstradition.com.
That's the first commercial I've seen of ours in 3D.
Yep, you're right. Kind of jumps out at you. All right, I got to see if I recognize anybody in this group. I do not. Not offhand. I mean, they're good. What are they, 60 yards from us, maybe?
There's a woman in this group.
There is. She's one of the best shots.
She is. And she's got a hand on hip like, come on, guys.
I don't think she's putted yet, so I think I ought to tell you everything you need to know.
Not putting for a green jacket here. Got a full round to play. Let's get this thing going. Just on the back nine.
Yeah, so that is those are 3 good shots right there, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
I don't recognize anybody. I ought to give them a shout out.
You know, when we played the other day, I told you, and maybe I've gotten a little more patient in life. I think I have.
Yeah, I think so.
But
I'll give you that.
I used to be a 3-hole guy, and I'm like, this is enough golf for me.
We're out.
But the other day when we played at the turn, I was like, nine holes is really the perfect amount of golf. You agreed with me, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do sometimes enjoy just going and playing 9. I enjoy playing 18, but it can drag on. If speed of play is what it needs to be, I'm fine with 18. If speed of play is not what it needs to be, 9 is the way to go there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if I was playing here and then we got to 10 and I saw this tent, I'd be like,
say, I'll you guys finish on up. I'll be waiting on you on 18.
See you in a little bit.
That's right. Hey, before we go to break and Dunaway joins us, we want to pass on congratulations to the daughter of our great director of video, Scott Forrester, who is out here with us today. Haley Forrester has had an incredible athletic career at Moody High School, and I can't think of a better way of finishing it than what they did last night, and that is win the state championship. Scott's got the state championship hat and the number 1 right there. Look at that state championship.
Now, is it already customed? They can't do that, right?
Yeah.
They don't have it's not like NBA money. We can have the hats already done up.
2005. We need to have player's name on there. No,
that's great. What a way to cap the career and first championship in state history.
In school history, right?
Yeah, school history for these guys.
Yeah, so Moody High School wins the 5A softball championship. And young Haley Forrester on her way to Carson Newman to participate in – wait a minute, what did I say? Freed Hardman. I knew it was two words, 2 names.
That's where our boy Verno.
Hey, can you edit that part out when you said it, Haley? Yeah.
Did you know Verno went to school there?
At Freed Hardman?
Yeah.
Oh, so she's got to top Verno was the most famous grad.
Yeah.
I thought he went to Carson Newman. No, he went to Freed Hardman.
He went to Freed Hardman because it's a small Christian school, Arkansas?
Tennessee.
Close. In the South.
Could we have butchered this anyway?
Well, at least I knew the school.
You got the school right. Great photo, the team photo there, celebrating the state championship. Some cool stuff Scott sent out on social media. So congrats to Haley. She is family for us, and we could not be more thrilled for the way she was able to finish her career. Now off to college. on a volleyball scholarship. I mean, you want to know what kind of player she is? They won the state championship in softball, and she's going on a volleyball scholarship.
It's pretty amazing.
That is amazing. So congrats. That is awesome. Congrats to the Moody Blue Devils winning the state championship. All right, we continue from the Regis Tradition presented by Coca-Cola. Tonight, you and I will be out at Odie's.
Odie's Team Trivia. We do it every Wednesday night. This is always a fun one, too, because a lot of people trickle in for the golf tournament. Should be a great crowd. Weather's going to be fantastic inside or outside on that patio. Get there early. We'll start a little after 8 o'clock, but enjoy some of the great food from Rodney Davis award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches like that Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets. Come see me, Brown, Will Haver, all right there. The original location of Crestline, newest location in Edgewood. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
All right, more from the Regents Tradition presented by Coca-Cola. It is Pro-Am Day here at Greystone. Dunaway back with us off the first tee. We'll see who hit the best tee shots of all the celebs. That's next.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
There's no off-season at CoverCrimson.com. Sign up now and get daily shows plus behind-the-scenes intel that will keep your Alabama fandom rolling all the way up until kickoff. Follow Cover Crimson on all social platforms and sign up today at CoverCrimson.com. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
By now, you guys know how I feel about my fashion. However, did you know that I care about your fashion choices? Cargo shorts are out, flip-flops are only appropriate on the boat, and please throw away that stained t-shirt from college. You may be thinking, EG, that's all I own. What do I do? Here's what you do. Go to nextround.store and fill your cart with a wardrobe that is approved by me. Stock up on logo t-shirts, hoodies for football season, and hats for every day of the week. Trust me on this one and head over to nextround.store to get stocked up for this season.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Looking to expand your business? Let the Next Round help you. Contact us, sales@nextroundlive.com, and be part of the team. Advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platforms. The Next Round can take your business to the next level. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, while reaching the most desirable audience for your business. Get more information by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level using the Next Round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
We are back on the next round. We are at the Regions Tradition presented by Coca-Cola, straight from the first tee. Our very own Jim Dunaway has joined us. First tee announcements, a tradition unlike any other.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun out there. I forgot how tall A.J. McCarron was.
How tall is he?
Oh, I don't know.
6'4".
6'4", maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
That's tall.
Towered over just about any other person on the tee box all day long. I don't know if there was a taller person out there.
Barkley used to be, but I think he's shrunk.
Yeah, I mean, when Barkley got there, yeah. But A.J. so much taller than Greg McElroy. They were together there. It was. It's always good seeing those guys, but seeing McCarron out here, looks like he's in better shape than when he played at Alabama. Looked like he's still in tip-top shape. Yeah,
I mean, he's not even in his 30s yet.
I think he's in his 30s.
He finished in 2012.
Yeah, right at it.
Yeah.
31 probably.
2013.
Yeah.
Obviously with
2013.
St. Louis in the UFL for a while. So. The guy still looks like he could sling the football around, and I always say he's the best quarterback in Alabama history because of the success he had. Should have been, as I joked on the microphone, two-time national champion. Would have been 3 as a starting quarterback if he'd have been holding that day at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I think he'd have made the tackle on the kick 6. I believe that.
Do you get a good laugh?
No, I got a good laugh.
Did you say
not from him because he doesn't like me?
Yeah, I was going to say this is the only guy teeing off today that I know for sure has blocked me on Twitter.
I mean, Greg McElroy, who doesn't like me either, at least walked over and said hi to me.
Oh wow, hey, that's a win.
Nick likes you.
Nick Saban, who doesn't like me, walked over and said hi to me.
Here we go.
I would go Saban, AJ. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the whole list of people that doesn't like me were out on the tee box today. But they all said hi, except for A.J. McCarron, who literally it was this side, but it was me, it was Ellis Ponder, and then A.J. McCarron. And constant conversation between Ellis and me and Ellis and A.J., but A.J. wouldn't he make eye contact? Wouldn't he make eye contact?
He is going to take that to the grave, isn't he?
I don't even know what I did. I don't even know what I did.
Did you retweet a picture of his mom or something?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
I think that's kind of like, is that not?
He was a superstar back then.
She was. I mean, she was one of the most recognizable faces around that Alabama football team. Well, his girlfriend was first.
She's here.
Oh, is she? Well, his wife now, obviously. 34, Scott with the age check on A.J. McCarron.
Okay.
34, rare miss for Lance outside the 3-year.
Well, I went 31 at the end.
Yeah, okay.
Is she still keeping up with the times?
Yeah. Both of them still in their peak playing days.
Yeah. I mean, I just remember the burger commercial, right?
Yeah. Still peak playing days for both, and I don't know, 2 kids, maybe 3, but I think 2.
I thought proper etiquette was you kind of shake the guy on that announces you on the first tee box.
Yeah, and then you tip your hat after he announces it.
A lot of the pros do. I mean, the Open champion from Turnberry shook my hand today.
Stuart Sink?
Yeah,
good dude, man. I like Stuart.
A guy that a ton of PGA champions shook my hands today.
Does this tournament, can it make you feel old though when you see some of the golfers that are here and you're like, damn, I remember these guys in their prime on the PGA tour.
The problem is I'm almost their age.
I know. Yeah. Oh, I'm older than some of them. I mean, what is Retief Goosen now?
He's in his mid 50s.
No.
Yeah.
Taylor said I made Nick Saban laugh.
Good.
When I said 7-time national champion, 6 times at Alabama and at LSU. And I mumbled LSU.
He chuckled
at that one. Speaking of which, New Life Art brings you the show today, in part the legend Nick Saban. We celebrate the 6 national champions in Tuscaloosa with DanielMooreArt.com. DanielMooreArt.com, painted by the great Daniel A. Moore. Promo code TNR, but not just the legend. With Nick Saban's 6 national championships, you get all the great works of art from Alabama over the years that Daniel A. Moore has painted, the goal line stand, the kick, and so much more, and other works of art. You can see it all online right there at DanielMooreArt.com. DanielMooreArt.com, promo code TNR.
All right, so we've got some kick times that have leaked from the NFL. Schedule release is tonight. We're going to get the schedule released tonight. I don't know how the level of excitement the chat finds this or the audience finds this or you guys find this. I actually get excited about it. I like seeing where my team's playing.
Yeah.
Or when they're playing. I know where they're playing.
I don't know. For some reason, kick times in the NFL do not excite me as much as kick times in the college football world. Like when I get a big college football kick time, I'm like, yeah, man.
No, but
exciting.
I get much more excited because the NFL schedule, you don't know when and where they're playing. Or you know where they're playing.
Yeah.
You don't know when. If you got Green Bay away, you're like, damn, I want to get them in September. And then you get that late November date, and you're like, wow.
Some of the college games, you know kind of the part of the calendar they'll be.
Yeah. Like I'm more interested, and I don't know when we'll know this, like is Alabama LSU going to be prime time or in the afternoon?
Right.
You know, how's it going to go with Alabama St. John's on the same day at Madison Square Garden? Hope they're not at the same time. Hate that same day. We talked about it when you were gone, Brown, that it's stupid to do a made-for-TV basketball matchup and play it on a football Saturday in November.
I agree.
I'm boycotting it.
Yeah.
Will you have it on one of your TVs, Brown?
I mean, it depends on what game. Not if there's college football on.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
But for the NFL, I guess it is cool to find out if I've got as a Buccaneer fan, if I've got a Thursday night, Monday night, or a Sunday night game.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. Well, this year, the Dolphins are coming to Atlanta, so that'll be the first thing I look at. But I like to see the primetime games. Lance does not like the primetime games. I like my team being on primetime.
I do, too, because oftentimes I'm out playing golf on Sunday afternoons and following it on my phone in the cart.
Yeah.
So with the Buccaneers, unless they were the America's game or one of the prime time slots, which was cool when we had Tom Brady. We had them all.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Now we're a lot of 12 and 3:30 kicks.
So Brett McMurphy leaked out some of the college football kicks. They were later confirmed yesterday. He was right about all of that, which I assumed he was. Brett does a good job of that stuff.
Yeah, Texas, Ohio State ended up being 11.
That's right, 11 o'clock, big noon kick as we expected. The first 3 weeks of the ESPN schedule will be released Thursday, May 29th. So if that stuff doesn't start leaking out, and it probably will, you'll get the actual release Thursday, May 29th. So that's how far that's how long you got to wait. Just a couple of weeks now to actually get the first 3 weeks of the SEC schedule. You know some of the times already, like Alabama, Florida State at 2:30, Tennessee and Syracuse was at 11, LSU at Clemson at 6:30. You know those, but you'll get the whole first 3 weeks coming up Thursday, May 29th.
I sort of wish the college folks would go to the flex thing. Go ahead and give us the entire schedule, but leave open for some flexes later on.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I guess it's easier to know the NFL teams that are going to be good than the college teams that are going to be good.
No, I think it's the other way around.
I think so.
I think it's the other way around.
Well,
I think it's getting more NFL-like with NIL and transfer
All right,
portal.
let me give you an example last year.
Oh, I know where you're going to go.
Well, there were some Indiana games late in the year that felt meaningful, like Indiana, Michigan, and stuff like that.
That's right.
Those are not going to be.
Hey, big putt coming up. Do you think this is the most experienced golfer of the
Okay.
UAB's Trent Dilfer.
This is your shot at
This
Trent
guy
Dilfer.
actually, no, it's not a shot. I think he plays more golf.
Oh,
than
there's no
anybody out
way.
there.
There's no way. Other than a Champions Tour guy, Trent probably plays about as much as anybody out here.
Yeah.
Our buddy Matt Roth.
But I remember when he came out of Fresno State, I wanted Trent Dilfer as a Rams quarterback.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, yeah, bad. He was a really good college quarterback, obviously.
Oh, Dilfer just missed. He's going to take the par.
Yeah.
That's all right.
That was a good run at it, though.
Yeah,
These greens don't break like Vestavia.
By the way, that was a downhill, side hill bender.
The speed was perfect.
That was really close to going in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a guy who just walked out here and hit his first golf shot today.
Dude, he looks
Not
like
at
a
all.
linebacker, though. You know?
He is a big guy.
I mean, I was like, from behind, is that Andrew Whitworth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here are some of the NFL games that have leaked out. Super Bowl, what?
Before you do that, can I make a golf point real quick?
Sure.
Dilfer looks like he's been out here a lot. Nate Oats, late to the tee box. You could tell he was going through some instructions. He's been recruiting. Nick Saban, such a competitor. He hits a massive draw off the first tee, doesn't get the distance, ends up in the left rough short.
Did he give it an MFer really loud?
He did not, but he was the second one to hit. There were 3 guys that hit after him in his group. And while all the 3 other ones, his golf coach, who's been with him since all the days at Alabama.
J.C. Well.
Yeah, J.C. Well is with him.
He was out of here today as golf coach?
No,
Yeah.
J.C. Well, the Alabama golf coach.
So
okay.
He's over there working with him, right?
Yeah.
Like Saban went to him instantly after in a pro-am on the first shot. So there's nothing but laughs. Saban did not hit the perfect shot. So he's over there, and you can see him asking. It's not JC. It's a guy who, if you say his name, I'd recognize.
Mick Potter? Okay.
That's who it is.
The
Mick
women's
Potter.
coach. Yeah,
No, not Mick Potter.
Okay, big fan of the show.
Yeah, I know who it is, but I don't know his name.
John Daly.
But he's sitting there, he's looking at him, and he's like, you could tell he said, "What did I do wrong?" And then the guy's like, "You got your hips through too quick." And so they started doing basically a little drill right here while the other three. I mean, this guy is in his 70s.
No way to live life, man.
He's a college game day host now.
Oh, my gosh.
And he is, after one shot of what's going to be a lot in a pro-am that's going to take 6 hours.
I know Brown throws his clubs, but I mean, that is no way.
God.
Like, you're not a professional golfer. I've never seen it. I mean,
Well, of course you haven't.
Well, Dunaway's the one that talks about
I know,
it.
but you talk about it like I did it in your backyard. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've dodged them, but
whatever.
of course, yeah. All right, so here are these kick times. Super Bowl rematch, week 2 in Kansas City. So we will get the Chiefs and the Eagles Super Bowl rematch.
Week 2, though, I like that.
You like it that week 2 that we don't get it right out of the chute?
I mean, now the Eagles open up with Cowboys, and now the Chiefs.
Wow,
They could be 0-2.
Kansas City and Brazil. Wow.
KC.
You think the Eagles will be 0-2?
I think KC's 0-2.
KC could be 0-2.
Because they open against the Chargers in Brazil and then host the Eagles.
Yeah, okay, let's do
They
that.
can't both be 0-2.
I think that's gonna happen, and I think that's gonna be the big story. I'm telling you, this is the year. They're not gonna win less than 10 games ever with Mahomes at quarterback.
Right.
But I think this is the year they drop back to 10 wins. I think the Chargers are more 12 wins.
So tell me, that'd be a good bet, a prop bet to have in Vegas. Chances of does one of the 2 Super Bowl teams last year start 0-2? How would you do it, minus or plus? Yes is minus or plus?
It would be.
Say that again now.
One of last year's 2 Super Bowl teams, Eagles and Chiefs, start the season 0-2.
Because only one of them can.
But they play each other, so.
Well, that means you're guaranteed
Yeah,
one of them's got a loss.
One of them's at least one loss.
Yeah, so the number actually would be plus 150, maybe.
Wouldn't it be huge?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, because, again, they're playing both division rivals that are going to be really good this year in the Chargers and the Cowboys. Yeah. One will start 0-2. I feel like it's the Chiefs.
Yeah. So Vikings and Lions, one of your Christmas Day games. So if you're a Lions fan, you get Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day.
That sucks.
That really does suck, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you're conditioned for the Thanksgiving game.
Yeah.
I never want my team playing on Christmas.
What day of the week is Christmas? Do you guys know off the top of your head? Scott, do you know?
I can find it in my calendar.
Because, I mean, at least, the Thanksgiving game's on a Thursday. You're kind of conditioned to Thursday games.
Yeah.
Christmas, I think, was a Tuesday. It's a Thursday? So both those are Thursday games.
No, that's going to be a good long week for us.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean they don't have to
that's their only Thursday games, I think.
They don't have to play another Thursday night game on Prime?
So that is the upshot of it, is you don't have to play that Thursday night Prime game that everybody hates. So you get your Thanksgiving Day game that you're always going to play, and you get Christmas Day. That's on Netflix, by the way, week 17.
Oh.
Late in the year for that one. You will see Cam Ward's potential opener. I mean, I'm assuming he's the starter. Don't know who else it will be. A 3:05 Sunday kick on Fox week 1 as they are in Denver against Bo Nix and the Broncos. You'll see Travis Hunter's debut at home week 1 against Bryce Young and the Panthers. A ton of divisional matchups.
I don't like anybody that breaks these early things. I wanted to watch.
Well, this is our guy, Jordan Schultz.
Yeah, I don't care.
You may not want to listen to this then.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's a reason we've got a show tonight.
He's just doing his job. Giants home opener, week 3, Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs. So the Chiefs, we know their first 3 games.
How is this his job? This is like a spoiler alert. Like
it's his job. He covers the NFL.
No, but if I'm a critic and I watch like the series finale of Ozark, and then I come out and tell everybody about it.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. This is his job. He's just doing his job. He's got a ton of them. You want me to stop?
So he works for the No,
he works for Fox.
Okay.
I mean, I wonder where he's getting these leaks from. These are all Fox kickoff systems.
Yeah, and what do you think the NFL thinks about this?
Well, they probably are like, Fox is paying us a ton of money.
Yeah.
One reason we make the money we make is because of Fox. I'm probably not going to say anything too loud.
Avoided all my Rams social media because I guarantee you the whole schedule is already out.
Oh, I don't think the whole schedule is out.
Oh, I bet it is.
No. Nobody's whole schedule is out.
Yeah. By the way, when you're done with all these breakings, I've got the number. Somebody did a graphic of the amount of money you have to spend as an NFL fan to watch every one of your team's games.
Oh, let's hear that. I'm done with them. Let's hear that.
No, is it an estimate? Or do you have all the criteria?
Yeah.
Okay.
NFL fans will spend. Just tell me how much to watch
tell me
all.
What all is it? I mean,
it's everything. I mean,
no, but
just give me a number you think it all is, and I'll tell you how it's all broken out.
So Sunday ticket, help me out now. I think as a YouTube TV customer, I get Sunday ticket for $320, or is it $280?
No, but I think this is going to the game, right?
No, this is watching on TV.
No, this is watching. It's just to watch all of your team's games.
Sunday ticket is $280, Or is it $320? Do you
Not
know?
according to this graphic.
Yeah, I mean, it should be $300.
According to this graphic.
Oh, because you got to have Netflix.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Sunday ticket is $522 this
That's
year.
if you're not a YouTube TV customer,
Okay.
I think it's cheaper than that, but they have gone up on the price, obviously.
YouTube TV is $563.88
Yeah.
during that time span.
Okay.
Peacock is $13.99.
Yeah, you may only have to do 1 month of that, though, just depending on when your team's on it.
Yeah, but that's $13.99.
That's right.
for a
Okay.
month.
Yeah.
$22.99 for Netflix to get both of their days of games, right?
Boy, that keeps creeping up, too.
Yep.
$89.94 on Prime to get their Thursday night games. I don't know why they put ESPN Plus on here, $104.94 to.
There is one game that is only ESPN streaming, I believe. I think they do that annually once a year. It might be one of the extra Monday night games.
Which turns out to be $197.66 in taxes for a total of $1,515.40 if you're all in to watch all of your team's games.
So if my team is on all these streaming platforms, I've got to spend $1,500 just to watch my team.
I am planning on that will be a drop in the bucket to going to Atlanta or Nashville.
No, you're right. If you go to one game, you're going to spend close to $1,500. Lance is not wrong about it. If you take a family of 4 to one game.
Oh, I look. All those prices are going up, but that is I've said it for decades. Best value in all of sports is NFL Sunday Ticket.
Sunday Ticket is a great value. I'm with Lance on that one. Like you pay. Even at that price,
by the way, they were asking about you earlier.
I don't know who my fan club is.
There was just a group of people.
Yeah.
Where is y'all's other? As they kept saying, where's Dunaway?
The price you pay for Sunday Ticket is when you divide that by 17 weeks, 18 weeks. It's a great value. I mean, incredible. It's only like I can't do the math that quick, but it's only like $30 a month,
and especially if you like
or $30 a week.
Watching just the NFL, like if you've got a specific team and then you really enjoy the NFL on top of it, can't beat it.
Urology Centers of Alabama brings us part of the show today. UCA, our friends there.
Yeah, I want to stay on top of your health, right, guys? As you age from the main tour to the Champions Tour, you'll want to get checked out. From prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. That's what happens with our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. They've been doing it for years and years. They're the best at it. 16 locations. That means if you're in the central Alabama area, they've got one that is convenient to you. Find that by going to the website, urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com, or call the number that's on your screen if you're watching on our video platform, 205-930-0920, 930-0920. Vasectomies, prostate health, kidney stones, everything, they'll take care of you. Urology Centers of Alabama, again, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com.
As we always get, Landmine Believer points out the apps just keep going up. It's cheaper for cable. He's right. I mean, when the apps first started, everybody was crazy about the apps, but you end up spending more now than you used to spend just for basic cable.
Yeah, direct stream. I've thought about it twice going back to that.
Direct TV stream?
Yeah, because you can get a great deal on it and everything. The problem becomes extra for Sunday Ticket, and also the quad box. And apparently the quad box, I can choose my own panels coming soon.
Oh, on Sunday Ticket or
I'll tell you what, you
anything.
With the quad box, they have become, because I was like, DirecTV, your customer service is so bad. Once you relinquish the contract with the NFL, I'm done, and I was done. But I think YouTube can probably have bad customer service moving forward, because the quad box, I can't get away from it. It's like one of the best inventions in sports history.
Now imagine being able to, on a football Saturday, be able to put the FS1 game, the CBS Sports Network game, the ESPN2 game, and the NBC game all in one quad box. It's coming, they say, before the start of football season, you being able to choose what channel you want in each one of the boxes.
Oh, can't wait. And back to the cable thing, though, you don't get the great programming if you just went strictly cable.
You don't. I mean, there's trade-offs everywhere. I mean, it's a value. I mean, I watch most of my non-sports on streaming. I mean, that's part of the problem.
Yeah, I don't know what's first. It's Amazon Prime now, and Netflix are really, really close, but Apple's right behind them. Like, I don't think I could do without those three. And then Max.
Max is where I usually start. That's first for me. Netflix is probably 2.
See, Max is under my Prime, so that's why I kind of say Prime.
King MJ says $30 a week to watch NFL, hard pass, all caps. There's very few things I can spend $30 on that are more entertaining than an NFL Sunday. I mean, the end of that early window is just tremendous. I really enjoy it.
I can't go anywhere, and I don't know about you guys, probably the same. $17 to $22 is a lunch.
That's right. $30.
Is that our man, JP?
$30 for a full day of NFL is tremendous. I had DirecTV stream Dunaway, and I kind of liked it. I only went away. You know why I went away from it? It was a very impulsive decision because LSU and USC were about to play, and they were in a dispute with ESPN. And I said, if I'm going to miss an LSU-USC game, we can't have that happen. All right, it's time for the viewing menu. Tyler will give us that from back at the studio, presented each day by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Wow, what a shot. 205-969-8100, the number that I called years and years ago, 2003 to be specific. I had the 2200 vision, didn't even realize Legally Blind without the aid of contacts. Now I have 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They are going to hook you up with an absolutely free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or MichelSonLaserVision.com.
All right, tonight we got a new movie in theaters. It's an early access screening of The Weeknd's new movie, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Plagued by insomnia, a musician gets pulled into a nightmarish odyssey with a stranger who begins to unravel the very core of his existence. And it stars The Weeknd along with Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan.
That description is, his life begins to unravel.
Is there an award buzz around this film?
So it stars
no.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
Spells his name wrong.
Yeah, he loses some letters there.
Yeah, he was the halftime act for my Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Weeknd.
Terrible halftime act. I think he's a very talented guy, but that was a disaster.
And then next up in theaters, we got a new anime movie for Demon Slayer. This will make a lot of money. I haven't watched Demon Slayer, but it's one of those shows that seems to appeal to everyone between like age 7 and age 70. So this will make a lot of money compared to other anime movies as well as other movies released
that or
in
anime,
America.
Tyler, just never has done it for me.
What's that?
I said that or anime has never done it for me.
That's fair. At 6 p.m. on the Freeform channel, you can watch an absolute classic. I think it's underrated, Ratatouille.
Very good movie. Very
long. It's long.
It is very long, but one of the better animated films of all time.
And then finally on FXM at 4:50 and 9:10, you can watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a great movie, one of my favorite Tarantino movies, and they're also making a sequel to it, directed by David Fincher.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Thank you, Tyler. Also a long movie.
I know you don't like Tarantino. I think that is my favorite Tarantino film.
Yeah. Not a big Tarantino guy, but again, to each his own.
Yep.
All right, that's the viewing menu presented by Michelson. When we return, our 40 and 40 continues. Another Group 5 team today. We'll see if they could possibly be the Group 5 rep in the college football playoff. They can catch fire. We'll discuss that when we return, and some college football news as well. That is all coming up as we continue live from the Regions Tradition presented by Coca-Cola. We are in the Champions Club, the walk-on stand on number 10. Come out all weekend long, regionstradition.com, regionstradition.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than those of my lawyers.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
As we all know, there's no off-season when it comes to college football. If you want to stay in the know with all things Auburn, join us over on thebarnauburn.com and get $25 off your annual subscription. We'll keep you up to date and give you exclusive content all the way to the first Saturday of football season on thebarnauburn.com.
We love the moments, the memories, the magic, the championships. So let's get more. More victories. More celebration.
He's got a chance. He won't be caught.
More unforgettable. More football. More of what you love.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1? Find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2? Stream it now. Miss Hour 3? Download it for later. Miss Hour 4? Well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, it is hour number 2 of the Next Round. It is a Wednesday Pro-Am edition from Greystone. It is the Region's Tradition presented by our friends at Coca-Cola. We are in the Champions Club on number 10, the Walk-Ons 10 here. You can see the action behind us as the celebrities will start coming through number 10 here. Over the next hour or so, Lance ran down that list earlier. Dunaway was on the first tee with all of them. Who hit the best tee shot of the celebrities? Outside of Trent Dilfer, because he
obviously wasn't Saban.
He was Saban did not like his, as we discussed earlier.
Barkley, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, he's come a long way. Barkley, maybe. McElroy, maybe.
Barkley has improved his swing a lot.
Yeah, Barkley pounded it out there. It was hard for me to see where it landed because there was so much moisture on the first fairway. I couldn't tell where his landed. Not a lot of rollout. McElroy hit a good one.
I would think that McElroy's right up there with Dilfer on rounds. I don't know that for a fact.
No, I think Greg plays a lot.
Yeah, I would say he plays 3 times a week.
Probably.
Yeah. I'd probably go Barkley and McElroy neck and neck of the ones I saw and could see and pay attention to. Nate Oats, DeBoer wasn't bad. He was right fairway. Nate Oats and Hugh Freeze both flared it a little to the right, but a bit right rough, still in play, still had a short, approach shot, but out of the wet rough.
Hugh blame it on his club.
No, I had a cheesy line for Hugh though. Born on a dairy farm, so if he hits a good shot here, he'll be able to milk the applause for all it's worth.
Boom!
I told you I was going to help you right, but
did Hugh at least laugh? First of all, was Hugh really born on a dairy farm?
Yeah, absolutely.
I did not know that part of Hugh's story.
According to Wikipedia.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, Mike Dubose lost to nothing in Notre Dame game.
That's what you told me.
Wikipedia.
That's what you told me.
Got to tread lightly when it comes to Wiki.
You never know.
But I would tell you that I did not wake up funny today, and I did not write these last night as I had planned on doing. I was.
So did you watch a drama last night? You should have watched something funny.
I got home from, we had a couple of family things to do after I got off the golf course, and we had dinner together, and then did a couple of things. And I sat on the couch for a second. I was just going to catch my breath at about 8:30, 8:45, and catch my breath. And then next thing you know, I wake up and it's 11:30, and I had fallen back asleep into my sports room with some NBA game on. And then at 11:30, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it right now. And then I thought to myself, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to set my alarm at 5 a.m. I'm going to do it at 5 a.m.
You know what you
and I got up at 5 a.m. and I came out here and did it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so next year, and it might be past us, we might not even be here next year. But you know what you should have done is just AI chat and let them write it for you. So you put in all the facts.
That would be funny. Chat GPT?
Chat GPT, whatever, and just roll with it, whatever they go with.
Hallman may even get a sponsorship, the Chat GPT.
Yeah, you could tell though that they can punch me though, right? You know that there's no bodyguards protecting me.
I just don't think they need to be that sensitive.
Nobody's always going to punch you on the first tee.
They might have somebody AI doing it next year.
So Saban and Barkley in the same group. That's a huge group of following.
Oh yeah.
Second largest group.
Second largest group is going to be probably Riley Green and Jamie Johnson.
With Riley Green.
Yeah. Did Jamie make it?
Jamie's here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I asked earlier if you had a line Riley Green and a Jamie Johnson line at Florida Bama, and it was groupies. I know Riley Green's line. What do the Jamie Johnson groupies look like?
But what they look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to answer. I'm just saying.
They look like Jamie.
I mean, Jamie's
served our country, by the way, United States Marine.
Have you seen Jamie?
I haven't seen him today, but I know who he is.
Ponytail out here.
Oh, yeah.
Big hair. Big beard. I even said, God, I wish I had your hair. And he did not laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he may be a tough interview later. I was actually looking forward to interviewing
No,
him.
he'll be a
Who's
fascinating
this quirky dude on one?
with glasses and wearing a sports blazer for some reason. Riley Green's line of people trying to get autographs to get him up to the first tee box was 14 to 32-year-old women, 7 deep.
Well, look, I
didn't know there were that many women that came out here.
I thought the first time we saw him 3 or 4 years ago out here, literally you could have rolled a grenade by Riley Green, and the only person that would have killed Riley Green.
That's right. But now,
so it's like night and day. I didn't realize he had blown up this much. Like I never thought he was like critically acclaimed. Didn't he win like a Song of the Year or something?
Oh yeah. You look like you love me. He and Ella Langley.
Two Alabama folk.
Yeah, but there were just a lot of people that were country music fans that were like, he has made it purely on his looks.
I don't think that's fair.
I mean, I don't know.
He's co-writer of that song. I don't know how much he and Ella wrote of it, but it's Ella Langley, Riley Green, and one other person, the co-writers on the song.
My oldest daughter was asking if Kelsey Ballerini was out here. No, it's not Kelsey Ballerini. It's Megan Maroney. That's who he's supposedly connected with. And I was like, now she's going to be out walking in the ropes like this is a PGA.
Wait, is she the Tennessee girl?
Yeah, Tennessee Orange.
Yeah, the one that was with Kenny Chesney on tour just wrote a song about their tour last year. I don't know who Kenny's taking out this summer, but no, Riley Green. He's at his peak right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that he won't go any higher, but his career's never been better than
that's
it is right
yeah,
now.
that's the way of saying it. Colton, I think, sums up what you're trying to say. He says Riley's crowd looks more like Charlie's Angels, Jamie's crowd more like Hell's Angels.
Oh yeah,
100%.
That's perfect.
That is perfect. That is perfect.
That is perfectly put.
And both are okay.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, good looking Hell's
I mean,
Angel
look, I think they both embrace it.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure Riley did push-ups before he got here, and Jamie might have done a couple of shots.
We'll have a lot coming up tonight from Lance'sLight.com. It's always presented by Hemp Hill. NBA back on the board tonight. I see from the grimace maybe last night.
Yeah, well, last night 0-2. We're just we're struggling right now. We're in what we would call a funk,
a slump.
A slump.
Need a slump buster, man. Go with an easy win tonight.
Just you know what? I bet a transfusion in the 10 o'clock hour.
Nothing will bust a slump.
Is that
like
a good slump buster?
Sure,
I'm going to go get one of those in a second just to bust out of this slump.
Not what Jamie Johnson would call it, but yeah.
Yeah, his slump buster, would be a little bit different. Lance is like always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Had an opportunity to hang out with our buddy Chad Rhodes yesterday. Great dude. The pride of Skipperville. Alabama, but had an opportunity to go to lunch, talk a little HVAC, and they still got that deal right now, $1,000 off, plus 0% financing, 205-229-2090, hard to stop a train, or hemphillservices.com. Will you have a transfusion with me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
All right. I'll take one too. Next break, we got 3 transfusions, just like we're making the turn.
Forrester, you want a transfusion? Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate Moody.
That's
state
right.
champions. Do you know that?
I do know that. I
you were probably there.
I missed it. I thought about driving up. Had obligation already there. I would have driven up to watch Haley and them win it. I loved the reenactment of the photo. That was the best one.
Yeah, the reenactment photo. I don't know if Lance saw that earlier. Tyler, if you can get that ready, the reenactment photo from the kids, and Dunaway's going to tell them about Way to Wellness.
How did you see it?
I saw it on social media, and Tyler showed it earlier, but I don't think you saw it.
Forster said he wasn't going to include me in the group text.
That's right.
So I just figured.
Lance,
I did get one.
Lance picked against him.
Yeah. Here's the reenactment.
Yeah,
So-
look at that. How cool is that?
So when she won a youth softball tournament, club play way
How
back
old was
in the
she?
day.
8?
I was gonna say 9, but
All right.
eight's
All right.
probably right. You're her dad.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not the same field, right?
No, not the same field, but how about that reenactment?
Oh, I love reenactments like that.
I do too. That is so cool.
Have you guys ever done a really cool one like that?
We have not.
Yes,
We have not.
actually we have.
Yeah, I've just got one with 3 of my best friends from high school
Yeah.
that we did 30 years apart, and it's really cool. That one's
That
awesome.
is a fantastic reenactment.
Of course, you haven't changed a bit, and it's just really a good job. And
the girls have grown.
Congratulations.
Yep.
And just a hard journey for them. My friends at Way to Wellness, if you're starting a hard journey of losing weight right now, a Leslie and her board certified team can help you out. All you have to do is go to the website aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com, and you'll get all the details you need to get started on the journey with Way to Wellness. Here's some things you need to know right off the bat. First of all, no contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is absolutely free, right? Also, they've got a variety of different ways to help you. Some of the ones I'll tell you about here quickly. They've got injection therapy, meal replacement, protein bars, and so much more. But there are other ways that they can trim you up, make you look good, help you with your cholesterol. It's all certified, board certified team members there. Leslie will take care of you like she's done for me over the years. Aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
We have got Daryl Moose Johnston coming up in just a little bit. Let's talk some NBA Combine. Something we don't normally talk about on this show is the NBA Combine. I've watched the NFL Combine. I can't tell you I've ever seen the NBA Combine. I don't even know, Dunaway, if it's aired live. Do you have any idea if it's aired live?
Some of the
NBA
games
Network,
on
maybe?
NBA TV.
Yeah. But there were 2 things yesterday. The first thing not yesterday was Tahad Pettiford's size. If you weren't with us on the show and did not hear it, he's just a quarter of an inch over 6 foot tall. So that may or may not impact his draft prospects. You would think it helps just a little bit because he's over 6 foot tall. Yesterday, Janai Broom was there and was doing the vertical. Now, there's some video that's going around of his vertical, and so if you've never seen how the vertical's done in the combines, they've got, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a pole with some slats on it, and you reach and you
Yeah,
tap
so
the
they're by, I think they're by half inch or inch, and you jump up and obviously
hit as many as you can.
The last one you touch is how they register this. The video that Dunaway showed us in break, he had already
hit his. He's trying to increase it.
But watching his vertical, I would say it was like 25 inches, maybe.
I'll see if I can. I'm sure I can find exactly what it was.
I did not realize that he'd already jumped once. I thought maybe they moved those around since, hey, it's the NBA Combine. We're going to take off the short.
Yeah, I mean the way you said it was like he wasn't able to touch anything.
Yeah, and the first time you saw it too, you thought
I did too.
And then I realized it was the second jump. The most amazing thing yesterday though was Grant Nelson's shuttle run. Now he backed it up with a bad shooting day, but his shuttle run yesterday was unbelievable. He's the guy that went out and put down, if they were still debating whether it was the fastest or the second fastest shuttle run in NBA history, and he did that with a 6'11" frame.
Okay, so we brought this up yesterday. I think he could be one of these hidden gems in the back half of the second round if he does get drafted. I'd say that he won't get drafted, but I think he's worth the flyer with his size. We talked about 6'11", 235 pounds, so athletic. The shooting wouldn't bother me because he is one of those guys that's kind of streaky. Once he gets confidence, you can absolutely work on the shot, but these physical tools, the God-given tools,
you just can't get a 6'11" athletic guy like that every day that can, put it on the deck. I mean, he can absolutely do everything.
He ended up with 15 of 30 shooting off the dribble, 12 of 25 spot up, 10 of 25 3-point star, 11 of 25 3-point side, and 8 of 10 free throws. Phylon was 24 of 30 off the dribble, 13 of 25 on the spot up, 15 of 25 from the 3-point star, 12 of 25 from the 3-point side. Mark Sears is the one that shot it really well, 26 of 30 off the dribble, 20 of 25 spot up, 16 of 25 3-point start, 25 of 27 3-point side.
Insane.
And 10 of 10 on the free throws.
I mean, I don't think anybody doubts his shooting ability.
Janai shot 19 of 30 off the dribble, 15 of 25 the spot up, and it was about the same from 3-point. And off the dribble, Tahad was 23 of 30. And 3-pointers were 16 of 25 and 14 of 25.
Yeah. Sears, I agree. Like his ability to shoot in an empty gym, nobody's going to question it. Can he get that shot off? Can he create his own shot at the next level? With the size he's going to be going against, that's the big question.
So history would say no, right?
Because of the size.
Yeah, because of the teams that they played that he had trouble with, like Duke in the final game. Those had NBA-sized players. And he struggled to score points, and that's the tape. A lot of the people in the room are going to say, "You really want to draft him? Watch this game."
I mean,
when he goes up against Link, here's what happens:
point guards from 6'3" to 6'7". Two's rotating off on him. There could be matchups where he's got a 6'8", 6'9" guy on him, and there's absolutely no way, at least based on what we've seen to this point, he can create that own shot. But I think everybody's pulling for Mark Sears.
So back to Broom, 6'9" ¼ barefoot. Is that what you thought?
Nope.
You thought taller, didn't you?
Thought taller.
Yep.
I mean, it wouldn't have surprised me, but what did they list him, 6'11"?
Yeah, I think Auburn, listed him at 6'11".
At least 6'10" and a half, I think.
Yeah, 6'9" ¼ barefoot. It's funny, in college basketball, everybody looks taller. In the NBA, everybody looks smaller. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's just weird the way that works. Like you see Steph, we always mention Steph Curry. He's like 6'3". You watch an NBA game, Steph Curry doesn't look 6 foot. 249, 7 foot wingspan, 7 foot and ¼ inch wingspan. And that vertical we were talking about was 40 inches, 40.1 inches.
Damn, that does not look like a 40-inch vertical. I mean, that's a big vertical for his size.
Apparently, the video that was going around that Dunaway showed us, a lot of people are being critical of because it was his second attempt. He did the 40-inch, and you get a second attempt to try to improve. Well, he couldn't improve it. Well, my gosh, it was a 40-inch. That's going to be hard to improve for a guy.
It didn't look like 40 inches.
I agree.
How long can you let your fingernails grow when you're doing your vertical?
I think you try everything, don't you? What was the
I don't know. You wouldn't want it to stand out too. I'm one of those. I don't know about you guys.
I keep mine trimmed down.
I got to keep them trimmed down. I hate when you get a little bit. I don't know what the length of the whiteness is.
Yeah.
But I have to cut mine once a week.
Easy, once a week.
But I would hate. I think it would be too obvious. Like, you remember the dude that had like the Coke nail?
Yeah.
Like, if you had all Coke nails, like, you couldn't do it with a basketball anyway.
Yeah, but if I had just for the vertical, if I had a long one and had it painted, maybe a color too, to make it a little stronger.
Well, did Angel Reese, didn't she have long fingernails?
She did, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
but what was the trick we were talking about guys using, and the short arm guys? There was some trick they were using to get longer arm measurements in the NFL, the offensive linemen, because arm length is really big for the offensive linemen, and there was some sort of trick that they were using that the NFL had to crack down on in the combine because
I don't remember that.
There was some
dislocating their shoulders.
I can't remember what it is, but there's some trick that they were using just so that they could have the better arm length. So there you go. That's from the NBA combine. You still think Sears probably not drafted?
Sears not drafted. Broom not drafted. Well, Broom, I mean, with a 40-inch and the way he shot it yesterday, I mean, that's pretty impressive. My fear for Broom, and I don't know how you guys felt, and again, Forrester over there, the Auburn fan, I just don't think the guy has got the range right now.
Yeah.
Like, if you're his size in the NBA, you've got to be able to shoot it consistently.
Okay. But Broom at 6'9" £1/4", they play him where? I mean,
that's right. I mean, that's a 3.
He's got to play the 3.
A small 4.
I mean, that's a small 4.
Yeah, he doesn't get drafted.
Yeah, I mean, so at 6'9" £1/4", he's got to play the 3, so he better shoot it well.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, if it ever gets past, like, unlimited eligibility, that's one of those guys, like,
he can make a fortune in college.
Brooks and Steven would be, we'll pay him $2 million a year to stay as long as he wants.
And there's nothing new, and so, but just to reiterate what we said yesterday on both Phylon and Pettiford,
they're both getting drafted.
But you think they'll both stay in?
I think both will stay in.
Do you really?
I really do.
Do you think so, Jim?
I think Pettiford should come back. I think he could play his way into the first round and further up.
Yeah, for the record, I think both should come back, but I think both will stay.
I think Philon's had it set in his head he was going to be a one-and-done guy.
I agree.
So I don't think Philon would come back. I still think Pettiford will come back, though his numbers at the combine haven't been bad so far. So and I gave you the one that he went undrafted with Bleacher Report yesterday. Taylor on her TikTok, Taylor Korn, runs through all of them where he was projected in the second round, but in every other draft, other than the Bleacher Report, the one I gave you was the wrong one.
I carry a backpack more now than I did when I was in college.
I really had no need for one in college.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, do you think it gets to a point like these guys aren't going to class? Like, would it ever become a problem? Like, if LeBaron's like, I'm going to come back, I mean, I would assume that he hasn't been to a class this semester. I could be wrong, but is there something to that? Like, I've already point of no return, like, I'm academically ineligible and I'm never getting back there.
I heard that about an SEC player, I'll just put it that way, an SEC player. And the thing the guy told me was this guy just hates going to class. And I'm like, is that still a thing? Yeah. Like, I would think in this day and age.
What does it matter?
Well, A, what does it matter? And B, like, can't you get everything online?
Well, that's what most of them do is online. So he's not even doing his work online if he's not eligible.
But I mean, you can have somebody else do your work, right?
You could keep him eligible if he's online only.
I will tell you this: Travis Hunter finished his degree at Colorado.
Right,
he's a graduate.
Yeah, I saw that. Which a lot of that goes underreported.
So there are athletes who are really, really good students. Not everybody, obviously. I'd say the majority are not.
And is it not fair for me to say I think NIL has created other jobs for students? Like, if I am a general manager of one of these teams, I find really smart students that want to make extra money, and they're the ones that I put behind a computer to take all the classes for these athletes. Do you think that happens?
I know that the way it does in Zoom test, that if I'm out of the frame for 1 second, like if I look away, if I'm not making eye contact or anything, it looks like I've got another computer screen up, cheat notes or anything, the test is void. It's 0 and it's incomplete. You have to take it again.
So are all tests Zoom? I thought
most of the tests when you're taking online class, you take them online, and it's a massive thing. You have to pan the room, show the whole room. It's a massive thing. My son's taken some, and I've known some athletes and how that works.
That is a pain. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to do a transition here. Speaking of pain, if you got a little in your back, Woodhouse Day Spa, great place to go.
Great place. I mean, over 70 options to choose from: the massages, the waxing, the nail services. You can order online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com 24/7. Maybe you forgot Mother's Day. Maybe you've got a guy's golf trip coming up and you want to be out of the doghouse before you get in it. Birmingham's best day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa, will allow that. You can stop in, conveniently located, beautiful location at Summit Shopping Centers. Get in, see Stuart and the great staff there. Tell them the next round sent you. Or again, order any of those gift cards online 24/7, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
And don't forget our friends at Bojangles, from sweet to heat. They got 7 sauces that will definitely add a little extra flavor to every bite. Nothing pairs better with the sauces than the hand-breaded tenders. So if you're looking for sweet, try honey mustard. If you want some tang, how about a little barbecue? If you want some heat, creamy buffalo or peach honey pepper. And if you're craving smooth and creamy, the house-made ranch, jalapeno ranch, classic Bo sauce are ready and waiting. So head to Bojangles, order some hand-breaded tenders with your favorite sauce today at Bojangles. It's Bo time.
Yeah, while he's getting 4 downs ready before you hit the first down, Tim, I will tell you that Kirby Smart and Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, were playing in the group together. And on the first tee, if you're just joining us, I made the announcements again. So after I'd done the Kirby Smart introduction, for Greg Sankey, marathoner, SEC commissioner since 2015.
Right.
And the guy that wanted me to point out to Kirby that he's the guy that made, how'd I put it? He's the guy that did not schedule Georgia at Alabama, at Texas, and at Ole Miss this year. And Kirby gave me a glancing grin.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So,
that is pretty good. I like it.
I remember Kirby last year. We had to play at Alabama.
Oh, I remember.
I
remember the belly aching. I remember that.
Is Oats a good guy? It's got Nate Oats' worst golfer I've ever seen.
I don't think Oats plays a lot.
He does not play a lot.
Yeah.
And in fact, when he started playing here, when he got the Alabama job, I'm not sure he even called. I don't think he golfed. I think he's new to the game.
Who was it? Was it Malzahn or Chizik that wouldn't play?
Chiswick would just come and basically grip and grin, and he'd putt a little bit.
Yeah, he'd putt a little.
Yeah, Malzahn played, but no, Chizik was the one that never would play. All right, let's do some 4 downs here. As always, Tim Melton back in the studio. We started with
first down.
I thought this was interesting. The Lakers have posted a job for their head strength and conditioning coach, and they are looking for someone who can, quote, motivate players. Now, is this a shot at Luka or what? They publicly have put this out there, and the job pays between $200,000 and $250,000. If I asked you, what would be the better option if Scott Cochran was given? You can be the head coach at West Alabama or the strength and conditioning coach for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, $250,000, as crazy as it sounds in L.A., ain't going a long way.
And by the way, it's not going to sniff what Cochran was making at Alabama.
Not at Alabama.
No, not at all. But, I mean, he's probably making $250 to $5 at West Alabama.
I don't think it's close to that.
Well, $250 in L.A. is, boy, you're close to the Mendoza line right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy to say, but it really is.
And I would imagine the strength and conditioning coach for the Lakers in season works a lot. I bet there's not a ton of downtime.
Well, and I think this is just an assistant.
Yeah.
This almost may, this would be, major pay cut for Dr. Brett McCabe.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But I'm saying it seems like they need somebody there that is just a motivator. It's sad that you've got to get one of the top 5 players in the world to be motivated.
I would agree 100% with you. I think I would rather, I don't know. Like Dunaway, if the money weren't the situation, like if I could make ends meet just fine in LA and be comfortable, I'd probably rather be an NBA strength and conditioning coach than a Division II head coach. Was that the question? Did I answer the proper question?
No, you were asking.
I'm just saying what would be a better spot for Cochran. Like if he got offered the Lakers strength and conditioning coach job, or the West Alabama. I mean, I think he believes he's going to be able to build this, and maybe he will, and he ultimately wants to be a head coach at, major level.
Yeah, I would say that's what he's working on. He wants to be a head coach. So I would say he's done the strength and conditioning thing. I wouldn't want to do that with the Lakers. I mean, at that point, you're trying to get multimillionaires to work out. That seems like a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. You wouldn't think you would need one, would you?
Yeah.
Like you would think a strength and conditioning coach in the NBA would just be like, hey, watch that form right there. Your back's a little bowed. You remember, we've got that issue we're trying to deal with right there.
Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to do the tire toss.
Yeah.
We're going to do this.
Four of these. Yeah. It's not like I got to stand over you and make sure you do them all and count everything.
I've got the Repo Man workout today, guys. We're not doing the Repo Man again, Coach.
Oh, we are. I know y'all hate it, man, but y'all do it right. We're going to do it.
We're going to go get those calories back.
Second down.
Second down.
Second down.
Did we hear it?
I don't know, but just go.
Okay. Zach Edey, 23 years old today. Ultimately, better career, Zach Edey or Zac Efron?
Oh, boy, what has Zac Efron done recently?
Well, he did the Iron Claw. He's starting to get more credible roles.
Is he really?
Yeah. I mean, the High School Musical thing probably still pays him a lot of money.
Oh, he makes a bundle off that.
He was a really good villain in The Neighbor. I mean, a villain, fraternity guy that threw big parties.
Yeah, Neighbors was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Edey's having a little bit more of an impact than I thought he would have with the Grizzlies. I mean, I think Edey's going to be a guy that probably plays in the league 10, 12 years. And, Zac Efron, obviously in his prime right now. I think I'd rather be Efron.
Yeah.
I know I'd rather be Efron. But better career.
I'm gonna go Efron. I'm seeing the career.
I'll take Zach Edey, just to be different.
Third down.
Rob Gronkowski, 36 years old today. This sounds crazy, but think about it for a minute. Better overall career, Gronk or Barry Sanders? Here's what I would say. Gronk, you can make an argument, greatest tight end of all time. You look at all the championships. He's doing a pretty damn good job at Fox right now. He's got a ton of endorsement deals. Barry Sanders, by choice, decided to retire early, didn't want to do the endorsements, got away from the game. For a moment, he was and still is considered one of the best running backs of all time, but he won one postseason game in his entire career.
Yeah, but that was far from on him.
I get it, but
I mean, you drop Gronk anywhere other than with Brady, how many does he win,
Right.
But you put Gronk on.
But without Gronk, I don't think Brady wins all of his.
Maybe not.
I would say Gronk is going to have a better career than Barry Sanders. Maybe has already had it.
I would go Barry Sanders because it's going to be hard to to be considered one of the greatest of all times. I don't put Gronk in that category. I don't know who I go with. I mean, Travis Kelce and Gronk about the same level for me. I go to some old school guys. Antonio Gates was good. I mean, I can make a case for Gronk, absolutely, but I'm going to go Barry Sanders.
I think most people would answer Barry Sanders just because he is so iconic, and Gronk just is not at that level. He's not at Barry Sanders level. If you grew up when we grew up, Barry Sanders was just different. I mean, it was a show every time he ran it. He was on bad teams, and he was so good on those bad teams. It's just I would have to go Barry Sanders on this one.
I'm going Gronk.
4th down.
George Lucas, 81 years old today. Better career, George Lucas, George W. Bush. I don't think it's personally close.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go George Lucas. I mean, you can't do it on money. That's not going to be fair. The Star Wars money George Lucas has made is outrageous.
He's worth over $5 billion.
I mean,
3 Star Wars, is that what he did? The rest of them he sold?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think his production company, Jeeves, Melton, you guys can jump in. I don't want to butcher it too much, but Lucasfilms, I think they've got a piece of everything moving forward, the entire catalog of Star Wars. Am I wrong on that?
You know, Disney bought them out for $4 billion. So,
okay, well, there you go. $4 billion.
They own all the properties there. But this is the first time Brown's ever chosen something Star Wars over an American president. I just want to point that out.
Well, I mean, I want to. But all right, so
very polarizing. George W.'s tenure, right?
Yeah, I mean, he ended up being a very unpopular, but most presidents do at the end of 8 years, especially if they serve 8 years, they end up some of their lowest approval ratings.
But the most controversial timing with the 9/11.
Yeah.
But that gave him unbelievable boost in popularity.
It did initially, but then we got bogged down in a lot of wars, and a lot of people were asking the question, what are we even fighting this war for? Why do we have so many of our boys over there, boys and girls, ladies, men and women over there fighting? What is the end of this? I mean, and I like George W. Bush. I'm a fan of his. By the way, his presidential library on the campus of SMU is terrific. I visited it twice. But I just think we have fought a lot of wars in that part of the country to try to set up another government, and it fails every single time. Every single time. I mean, we need to get out of that business. But
in hindsight, what would you have done after they bombed us?
You want your pound of flesh, but it drug on for years and years and years. And I understand we were trying to find bin Laden, and he did not get found until President Obama. So that shows you how long it took to find him. There were a lot of people that thought it was some revenge on Saddam Hussein for his dad. I mean, there was just a lot of finger pointing there, which is why his popularity ratings were where they were. But you could argue that he was the president of the United States you could argue the most difficult time ever to be president.
Oh, yeah.
During 9/11. I mean, being president during the Great Depression was very difficult, and during both the World Wars was very difficult. But during 9/11, that was an impossible time to be president.
Would you go Lucas or Bush?
I'm too patriotic to go Lucas. I'm going to go Bush.
He's an American.
I'm going to go Bush.
I think Luke Skywalker, I mean, if you had to categorize him, he's not Canadian, right? He'd be an American.
Other than...
I'm just saying that being president, I remember what it was like the day after.
I do too,
yeah.
But, I don't know how different the world would be without George W. and George Lucas. I'm not a Star Wars guy, but that's...
What else did he do other than Star Wars?
Oh, American Graffiti.
Okay, so he did some other stuff.
Yeah, he's done some stuff. I mean, he did stuff before Star Wars. George Lucas, Mark Zuckerberg's 41 today. Boy, how about being Zuckerberg at 41? Lucas or Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg. Changed the world more than Lucas did.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong about that. I mean, the social media, he was...
whatever the Army Hammer twins would have done the damn same thing. So I think Zuckerberg, somebody was onto it before.
Well, somebody else had done Star Wars.
I still think, I don't know.
Tyler correctly points out, don't forget about Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is a pretty big one, too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about it.
I'm taking George Lucas over both.
No, listen, I went George Lucas. I'm just like, you always like to discount. Somebody else could have done that. Somebody else could have done a lot of things. I'll go George Lucas. But it's tight. That is 4 downs. And we continue at the region's tradition We are live at the Walk-Ons Champions Club here on the 10th. Now, this is a ticketed area, and I believe it has been sold out for a very long time. Obviously, is a very popular spot there. So you can't quite get up here where we are unless you've already got a ticket. So we apologize for that if you're out here looking for us. But if you want to come out for the Pro-Am, you can do that. And the event starts on Thursday with some of golf's greats. It is a major on the Champions Tour, and it begins Thursday. RegentsTradition.com. RegentsTradition.com. It is the Regents Tradition presented by Coca-Cola. We continue on the next round. Coming up in the next half hour, we unveil our latest 40 and 40 team. Could it be a Group 5 contender for the college football playoff? We'll talk some NFL and UFL with the Moose, Daryl Johnston. That is all next on the next round.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey friends, if you're looking to expand your business and inform the Next Round audience about your exciting brand, contact us at sales@nextroundlive.com to be part of the team and advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential consumers on our ever-expanding platform. Let the Next Round help take your business to the next level. Get more information by emailing us at sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level with the Next Round.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations: Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, you. Days warming up. Looking like spring. And at New Balance Birmingham, we've got the thing. What pops and what's fresh? Check the selects. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
All right, we continue on the next round. Our bartender, Lance Taylor, bringing us drinks. The Moose, Daryl Johnston, with us from the
drink free.
UFL. Did you get? Oh, we didn't get Moose one.
No, I got a coffee back there. I'm good.
All
I'm good.
right.
I'm trying to behave.
Yeah.
The man's got to play golf here in a second.
Yeah. He's going to hit the tee. Some transfusions. Thanks to our friends at Walk-Ons here as we're in the Champions Club. On the 10th, the Moose going to hit the tee at 12:45. Is that what you said?
12:40.
12:40. So
Yeah.
you can come see him. What pro are you with?
I don't know yet. But I would tell anybody that gets out that way, don't be on the right side.
Okay.
At 12:45-ish on number one.
Stay away from the right side.
Stay away from the right side.
You're a right-handed golfer, so you hit a nice slice.
Okay. I don't even think it's fade, slice. I don't know what that next parameter outside that is, but
off the property, right?
Yeah. Can we ask you a really random question because we're in Alabama?
Yeah.
I think you were behind the mic as the color analyst for the 2010 Sugar Bowl with Utah and Alabama. Am I wrong?
I was, absolutely.
Wow, what a freaking memory on that.
One of the biggest lessons I ever learned was that game.
Okay,
of not really getting set into how you think the game is going to unfold once we kick off.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because that was such a really good Alabama team that ultimately lost to Tim Tebow and that Florida team that went on to play for a national championship and ultimately won one. That's one of those, they talk about exhibition and are the teams really motivated when they're going into a game like that? Obviously, Utah was. Did you get that sense? Because Nick Saban seems like one of those guys that I don't care what we're playing. I mean, Dunaway was telling us first tee box, he had a bad shot, went straight over to his golf coach and was like, coaching him up on one
doing
shot.
drills after one shot in a pro-am.
Yeah, right.
So when you met with him that week, when you guys are having the pre-meetings, did it seem like this team had melded in?
No, not at all. Remember what happened, and this is what we found out during the course of the game. But just kind of leading up to the game, going to the Utah practice, very loose, very they were in a really good place. If they are talented, and I think we forget how good that team was. When you go back, it's Matt Asiata, it's the edge rusher.
Oh, he crushed them.
That was the difference in the game because the left tackle, Andre Smith
did not play.
So he did not play because he got in trouble with the agent. So put a left tackle there.
Yeah, he was on his way to the NFL.
If I remember this correctly, they did not just put a left tackle there. They slid their entire line and put a right tackle in.
Oh,
so you had 5 guys out of position as opposed to a backup at left tackle. And he was going up against, was it Paul Kugler?
I think that was it. Yeah.
And he was just having a field day. And
his memory's better than mine.
Yeah, but because it's
15 years
it's
ago.
just it's that one game where because we'd gone to the practices and we saw Alabama's practice and it was a machine and they're coming onto the field and they're like, if you could build a football team, that's what your football team would look like coming onto a practice field. And it was kind of the opposite of what we saw at Utah, very loose, just guys having fun, chatting during stretch. And they came out and they had a great game plan. And that was the biggest factor though, is the Utah defense started to take that game over early on. It was 21-0.
Yeah.
By the end of the first quarter, I think. It was just one of those games where you're like, okay, never again will I have everything in my head that this is how I think this game is going to go because I couldn't unwind it.
As our buddy Tom Luganbill says, on the hoof. They look good. That's what Luganbill always say. Tom. He obviously does NFL games. Luganbill comes on the show all the time, and he'll be like, "Guys, this team on the hoof, they look good."
Yeah. That was Jerry's. Jerry and Troy. Getting off the bus.
Yeah, getting off the bus.
Yeah.
Let's start with the UFL. So it all started right here in Birmingham.
Yes, it did.
I was thinking about this the other day when they told us you were going to come on the show. I was like, man, Moose had to live here for a little while. I mean, it is so weird to think about how all of that started and what it is now with the combo of the XFL and the USFL. I mean, it's just wild to look back on how it has all evolved.
Yeah, I am probably your biggest advocate for the city of Birmingham. I could work for the CVB.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, I had so much fun with my time here. It was hard being away from my wife, but you had to come down here and be here every day if you were going to do it the right way. So I spent 4.5 months, 2 years in a row down here in Birmingham and just had a great time and met tremendous people that I'm still good friends with to this day. And that's the birthplace. And it was funny because when we did our announcement of HQ this year and we're standing there and I've got, Doug West and, Jim Pop and a number of people from, Legacy USFL in this beautiful building where we're going to put all 8 of our teams and show the growth that we've had since 2022, and we go back to 2022 when we're 8 teams in that Sheraton hotel that's coming out of the pandemic that was, kind of, shut down for a while, and just how great our guys were and how grateful they were of just having the opportunity. It's amazing where we are. But yeah, to your point, it all started here for us in the USFL. There's so many great people, so many great partners that we met along the way those first 2 years. And it was awesome. I really, really enjoyed my time here.
For some reason, I was thinking about this yesterday on the golf course. Part of me, I don't know the answer, but I was debating whether it's good for the league if Birmingham was to win it again, or do we need another team to win it for the league, just to switch it up a little bit? Because when I was a kid, there was something about dynasties with the Steelers, and everybody either loved the Steelers or hated the Steelers. They loved the Cowboys or they hated the Cowboys. And I just wonder how you feel in the league office. Is the Stallions' dominance of what they've done in 3 years, is it good for the league? Can they be like the villain in 7 other cities?
Yeah, no, I love the dynasty approach. I like the villain component to that style. I want our teams to be able to build through the draft. I don't want parity in our league, kind of forced with the NFL. Once you go into free agency and you have the ability to go from last in your division to first in your division. You see it happen quite a bit. I like the old days, exactly what you just touched on. Our team in Dallas was able to experience both. I played 11 years, so the first 5 years of my career were under the old style of business where it was draft, develop, and try to build those dynasties. And then the second half of my career, free agency came in, and you could go out and build a team quickly. And if you were aggressive and had the money to spend and willing to spend it, you could flip a team very quickly. But I just think it takes a while. Football's not like baseball. It's not like basketball. It's not like hockey. There's a lot of that team element has to be there because you're turning the game over to other people, and that doesn't happen in any of the other 3 sports. You play offense, you play defense. Here we're playing offense, we don't make it, we turn it over to special teams. They execute a punt, then our defense comes out. We trust those guys to do their job. To build that culture and to build that chemistry for a football team, it's really hard to flip them when you talk about free agency. So I've always liked the draft, develop, and create sustainability. And if you're doing it the right way, that's when the dynasties come. And that's the amazing thing that New England did. And I don't think anybody ever gives them enough credit, is they did something in the era of free agency that you weren't supposed to be able to do, and that's create a dynasty. Everybody wanted to be able to flip that. Now they caught the AFC East on a down cycle for about 10 years. But what New England was able to accomplish and the way the business was being run at that time is always impressive to me.
You're a former Syracuse great. If I ask you 2 parts here, we know Jim Brown's the greatest ever, but Dwight Freeney, Marvin Harrison, or Donovan McNabb, which one was the best Syracuse Orangeman? And how well do you know Fran Brown? And what do you think of the job he's doing?
Well, I'm gonna step outside that and go with option D, which is other, and I'll go Donnie McPherson. My quarterback when I was at Syracuse, who was second in the Heisman to Tim Brown. And I really feel should have won the Heisman, because if you took Tim Brown off that Notre Dame team, they're still going to be a good team. If you took Donnie McPherson off of our Syracuse team, we were not going to be the team we were.
And you played in the Sugar Bowl where Pat Dye kicked the field goal, right?
Yeah, they tied us 16-13.
Were you guys pissed that he kicked?
Yeah.
He
should have caught hell. That was such a weak move.
Yeah.
It was actually our head coach Dick McPherson and Pat became kind of friends after that because Mac sent Pat
the ties.
Yeah. Yep. And then Pat sent Mac a bunch of sour grape candies. So they became to be good friends after that. But yeah, it was hard. But there was 3 of us that were 11-0 that year. It was Oklahoma, Miami, and Syracuse. And Oklahoma and Miami were playing in the Orange Bowl for the national championship. We needed to win that game just to have a chance with the voting. But we knew the winner of the Miami-Oklahoma game was probably going to be 1. And if we could find a way to win that, we'd be 2, which would have been fantastic anyways. But, we quick kicked in that game, and it was something that we used during the course of my career there. I was a punt, pass, and kick kid, and, I punted and kicked off in high school. So when I was at Syracuse, they let me do it. And, I at one point, I think I still have one of the longest punts in Syracuse history. But it's a quick kick. You get to go over the top of everybody, and it just runs. And so we did that in that game. And, supposedly the reason why was Pat Dye said, I will not lose to a team that doesn't try to win. He considered that us playing kind of safe when we used that to flip field. So there's a big strategic difference there. They got it, but that's why he went for the tie. The rumor came back to us is, well, if you guys hadn't a quick kicked, we wouldn't have kicked that field goal.
I never heard that.
I've never heard that side of the story. Yeah. That's
wow.
funny.
So real quick, back to your punt, pass, and kick. You were a great athlete, and I don't think people realize this. I think a lot of people will look and they'll be like, well, Moose wouldn't have a place in today's football. He was a fullback. You had 50 receptions, I think, in 1993. You've obviously lost all your fullback weight. Like, how do you see yourself in today's game? What would your role have been?
I hope I would be Kyle Juszczyk. I don't think I could be a Patrick Ricard, but boy, he's very impressive for the size of he is and his feet. I think Patrick, never gets enough credit. And he's got some breakaway speed. And I've always been down on the converted defensive lineman to the fullback because they play the game in a space that's about 6 inches, where the fullback plays the game in a space that's about 6 yards. And that's just a different style of contact. And that's a different type of collision that you have. But I watched Kyle Juszczyk play, and that was one of the things that I worked on with Norv Turner to be able to stay on the field, because we also had Jay Novacek, Alfredo Roberts, Rob Awald. We had good tight ends. So for me to get ahead of them in the pecking order, I had to kind of find a way to stay on the field. So, we had the F position, and the F position could be me. It could be one of the tight ends, or it could be Calvin Martin, our little slot receiver. And one time in the huddle at a practice, Norv goes, I need an F. And Calvin Martin was getting his helmet fixed. And I jumped in, and he goes, no, not you, F. And I'm like, no, I can run this.
That's right.
Goes, you know how to run this? I said, yeah. I said, I listen to everything you do in the meetings. So he's like, all right, we'll give it a shot. So that way we could have standard personnel in the huddle, which is, in today's jargon would be, 21, 2 running backs, 1 tight end. And the defense would think run, and then we could come out and break formation, and we could run our entire passing tree. And I would get matched up with a linebacker, which was, kind of a fair matchup for me. So that was the way that I was able to stay on the field and get more reps and have an opportunity to have 50 catches. And that's more the Kyle Juszczyk position, the way it's played. I think that's the big thing today. The fullback is played differently in all these systems, but they're smart. They're getting the guy that fits that role. I mean, Patrick Ricard doing the Kyle Juszczyk or Kyle Juszczyk doing the Patrick Ricard would be challenging.
Well, when I first met the great Bob Baumhauer, his hand first was huge, but I noticed how his fingers had looked like they'd been broken 1,000 times. And I noticed you held your hands pretty good, but there's a couple of fingers there. Do you know how many broken fingers you had in your football playing days?
That one, that one maybe in 2 spots, 2. And that one was dislocated.
Yeah. Like, what angle is that pinky at right now?
Well, they lied to me. I asked them, I said, after the season is the most important time for us, right? It's when you get back into your strength training. Back when we played, it was pretty much a year-round calendar. So it was important for me to be able to get back into the weight room about a month after the season ended. But they said, well, if we do that, it's going to be about 8 weeks before you can really kind of get into the weight room and really start doing what you want to do. And I'm like, I really don't want to give up an off season. I said, can we do it when I retire? And they said, yeah, we'll just do it when you retire. So when I retired, I walked in, I said, hey, remember we were going to be able to get that fixed? And he goes, oh, we can't do anything about that now. But you said when I retired, we could get it fixed. He goes, we can make it aesthetically look better, but we can't make it function any better. So it really doesn't make any sense. But the more people recognize that, I may do it because maybe aesthetics is important right now.
Yeah, but no, I'm just the defensive lineman. I just never knew that.
Baumhauer's got like these.
All that.
You know Bob, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Bob's got these massive hands, and when you shake his hand, it's like I don't know if I'm shaking hand. Or
it looks
like halfway up your forearm.
It's all. Daryl Moose Johnston with us for a couple more moments with the UFL. Your former teammate Troy picked the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl on Good Morning America the other day. I know you're immersed to the UFL.
He did what?
Yes.
Oh wow, we got a
No. He did. So he
was drinking the 8 beer while he was doing it though. Yes.
Was it his eighth?
he and Joe were on Good Morning America to announce some of the Monday Night Football schedule. They released the schedule right now, and if I'm not mistaken, he picked the Cowboys. I am going to confirm this, but I sense
I just think that Philly is so strong inside still. Even the way that they do it, what Howie Roseman does, where he builds a team for 2 or 3 years, knows he's going to get it blown up, and then restocks the shelves. They're still on that point right now, even though they won the Super Bowl last year, and that was one of the things you're pushing towards. He's transitioning, but they're still strong. They're still very strong.
It's a roster. I don't want to say it was like you guys in the 90s, but it's the best roster in football.
Offensive and defensive line, they're really, really strong there, and that's where the game is won in today's game. It's always been that way. You can have great skill players on the outside. You can have a great running back, but if you have no time in the pocket to throw, or you don't have any running lanes, it doesn't matter how good your skill players are. So Philly is fantastic, and we saw that against Kansas City because Kansas City is a good team. Patrick Mahomes makes a lot of mistakes go away, but that's still a talented team, and the way that Philadelphia handled them. And the Commanders are a surging team. Now, did anybody think they were going to go to the NFC Championship game? No, but that shows you how far ahead of schedule they are. But I think we all felt they were going to be good. They'll be better this year. The Giants, I think that even they're going to be better. So that makes that game a lot harder, in division. Dallas has got so much work to do, to get through their division, let alone to be able to win their conference. I do not see them in the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah. So Troy did.
I'm going to have to go back and watch it because I got to see his reasons why.
I don't know how deep they got. I think they were just asked kind of at the end for a Super Bowl pick. Joe went Bills, finally win it. And Troy said Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys. So, and to be fair to Troy, he is far from a Cowboys homer.
No, he is not at all. That's why I'm surprised.
Right.
I mean, he is one of the most knowledgeable guys, and he's very, very good at being able to look at a team from 30,000 feet at this stage of an offseason and have a pretty good idea who he thinks is going to be a good team. Because we've had a lot of free agency movement. There's going to be some pieces added from now until we get to week 1 on opening weekend. But you've got a pretty good idea of who looks strong and who did a nice job in the offseason. So for Troy to say that and exactly what you said, he is not a homer.
No.
I mean, if they're not good, he's going to tell you they're not good, and he's going to tell you where they're struggling. For him to say that's impressive because he feels that they've taken a pretty substantial step. And again, is that offensive line of Dallas ready to be able to protect against that Philadelphia defense? That's the biggest question to me because they're young up front. There's potential there, but I think they're 2 to 3 years away from being somebody that can be in the mix at the top with Philly and Washington.
So my 25 years in the workforce, I have learned that people you work with day in, day out, you don't necessarily know what they're doing outside of work. You guys seem like you had a really tight-knit group when you won 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. Was the White House blown out of proportion for guys that were going there?
I can honestly say I've never been there, and the one thing we would walk out to practice, at Valley Ranch, and the guys would say, "You can see it from here." We'd be walking out and we're on the track, and you can see the house from here. I'm like, "Are you serious? You guys?" It's unbelievable. So it was back in an era. It's kind of the work hard, play hard mentality that you hear in football. Back in the '60s and the '70s, and this is the '80s kind of transitioning into the '90s. And it's probably that 90s is probably a little bit of the last era that had a lot of that 70s vibe to it. When you talk about on the field, off the field, work hard, play hard.
Yeah, was North Dallas 40, was that somewhat realistic?
We were trying to do the second iteration of North Dallas 40 in the 90s. But no, all of our guys are still very, very tight. I actually just saw Emmett yesterday. I got to talk to Troy about something tomorrow, so now I'm going to ask him about. All right, we were talking yesterday. The Cowboys are going to be in the Super Bowl. You got to explain that.
Guys at Birmingham.
Daryl, you know how it works. They put me on the spot. I had to say something.
I bet of that group you didn't peg Deion was going to ultimately be the best coach, right?
There was something about Deion that nobody really knows. Everybody looks at him and they see this very, very talented athlete, and he was not the best weight room guy. There are things that Deion could have done to help himself where he could have been even better. Like our strength coach told him all the time. He goes, "I can make you faster. As fast as you are right now, I can
Wow.
make you faster because you don't have flexibility in your hamstrings. You're kind of a straight-legged runner. He goes, I can make you more dynamic. And he's like, I'm good right now. So,
I'm good.
But he was so diligent about his film, and because he was going to be that guy that was going to lock down, and I'm going to take away the number one. So he would study that guy to a T, or he would study, his portion of the game plan, to a T. And you'd see him all the time, pregame. He'd have his laptop there, and he's going through everything. I don't think anybody realized how hard he worked at the mental part of the game and the preparation component, because he was just so gifted athletically. And that's why he was able to play as long as he did, because a lot of that, when you have a guy that's uber talented but doesn't put the work in other areas, his career doesn't last as long, and he'll start to come down that hill a little bit quicker than you anticipated. You'll see some receivers, the big-bodied receivers, who are great, 50-50 ball guys and contested catches. But as they get older or early in their career, do they get with somebody, hey, can you teach me how to run routes? I'm going to have to, at some point in my career, I got to learn how to separate. And right now I'm just a jump ball guy, and I'm a contested catch and, a go route guy. He goes, but I need to learn how to stop, and get in and out of my breaks a little bit better. So, the guys that put that effort into their craft usually have nice long careers, and Deion is one of those guys. But yeah, as a coach, I think everybody would have thought, just as a quarterback, the natural position, the one guy we knew was going to be a coach, Jason Garrett. In the meeting rooms, Jason would ask a question, and you'd be like, well, that was very coachy. That's not from a player perspective. Like,
we knew we wasn't going to be playing. So, I mean, dude, we can go to lunch, or you could ask this question. Come on, man.
That was very coachy. All right, Daryl Moose Johnston, the UFL back in Birmingham. The Stallions back in Birmingham this weekend. So always great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you guys. Been a long time since I've been back. So yeah. And again, let's get 4 in a row. I'm all for the team at the top, and then if you want to unseat them, have a nice off season and go take your shot at it. But I think this is going to be a great finish down the stretch for us, because, Ken Skip and Birmingham continue to weather this quarterback thing where they haven't had that consistency. I think it's amazing the confidence they've built over the 3 years to know that they can win a game in a number of different ways. That win last week,
it was crazy.
Yeah.
What a story that Jamar Smith is. I mean,
at 25-6.
Yeah.
Nobody blinked on Birmingham. It's just like, we're fine. We're all right.
Yeah.
And you couldn't, it was a Hollywood script for Jamar, or for Jamar.
He's working at Dunkin' Donuts. Is that right? Did I read that right? I think he was working at Dunkin' Donuts somewhere, and now he's back in the, it's just
had his
crazy.
son in the stands.
Yeah.
Good to see him for the first time.
Yeah.
So,
What a story.
You'll see it on Fox this weekend, Brad. Don't spoil the ending.
Sorry. Yeah. UFLstallions.com, UFLstallions.com. Hit them straight, Moose. Thank you very much for your time.
Stay off that right side on number 1.
See you, man.
Take care.
That is Daryl Johnston with us on the next round. You can go ahead. We know you got to get to the driving range. Don't wait on us.
Yep.
The Moose with us as he's headed to the driving range to get ready for his round. Dr. B bringing you part of the show as he's helping us grow our hair back.
Yeah, look, you've got your hair out.
That's right.
And I thought you guys would definitely wear hats on the course today. But Dr. B, if you're trying to grow that hair back, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. You start to lose a little bit. You want to be preemptive. You want to maintain what you've got. You want to grow some back. T3hair.net. Again, I do that 30-minute treatment 3 times a week on the couch. That is it. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. Get in, see Dr. B. T3's got that new test. It's easy, painless, takes seconds to perform. Men, women ordering Hims, other products online, don't even know if they work. Stop wasting your money and critical time on things that aren't working for you. Go see Dr. B and that great staff. Find out what will work for you. Again, T3hair.net for more information.
Hey, I was on my way out of town, headed to the airport last week, and we had our flight had gotten a little bit delayed, so I swung by Lags Eatery with the family. First time the whole family had gone to Lags. Do you know how hard it is to find something your entire family likes? Like restaurant-wise, almost impossible, right?
Yeah, when you got 3 girls.
Yep. Top to bottom. Burgers got huge thumbs up.
Yes.
And the fries and the tots got huge thumbs up. I mean, across the board, everybody liked it. I'm like, well, we'll go back to Lags.
Have you been back since your crispy tot time?
Yeah, remember I've gone twice now. So I've been out there twice. I went when we were going to Barber's for the show. Was that last week, 2 weeks ago? I've been twice and love it. There's been nothing yet that I've tried there. Do they have shakes?
No, they've got the little Debbie shake.
Yeah.
Oatmeal cream pie.
That's my next level to go to at Legs is to get a little dessert next time I'm there.
Great beer selection. They've got frozen drinks out there. Tonight is Wednesday. Tomorrow night we'll start the late night action. So you can do breakfast, lunch, dinner,
late night, open till 2 o'clock. Get on that patio. Of course, if a Braves game is on, they will have happy hour out there. But Lag's Eatery, it is back. If you remember it back from the 80s and 90s, right there on Broadway and Homewood, is now in Avondale, between Avondale and Cahaba Brewing, a stone's throw away from Mom's Basement. But get in for breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night. It's Lag's Eatery.
All right, we got one more hour to go from the region's tradition presented by Coca-Cola. We are in the Champions Club on number 10, the Walk-Ons tent. We have got some college football. We'll unveil our 40 and 40 team, trash, and much more coming right up on the next round.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party is back. The Region's Tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, returns to Greystone May 14th through 18th. Watch golf's greatest legends and don't miss the star-studded Celebrity Pro-Am, featuring Nick Saban, Charles Barkley, Nate Oats, Hugh Freeze, and country star Riley Green. Soak up the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. Enjoy the local food trucks and cap off the fun with Monsters of Yacht in concert Saturday following play. The Region's Tradition, presented by Coca-Cola. Get your tickets now.
Since you listened to my last message so well and got rid of those cargo shorts and stained t-shirts, it's time to replace them with Rowback. Go to rowback.com and click on the refreshed collection to find all that you need for an EG-approved wardrobe. It includes pieces that will have you ready to hit the golf course after a busy day of meetings, or comfy favorites for travel and working from home. Get 20% off using code TNR20. See, I'm saving you some money.
Hey, you. Days warming up. Looking like spring. And at New Balance Birmingham, we've got the thing. What pops and what's fresh? Check the selects. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Think about the best summer nights of your life. How many of those were in a great t-shirt? Visit nextround.store to get the perfect t-shirt for the next perfect southern night. Nextround.store. The memories are waiting.
As we all know, there's no off-season when it comes to college football. If you want to stay in the know with all things Alabama, join us over on covercrimson.com and get $25 off your annual subscription. We'll keep you up to date and give you exclusive content all the way to the first Saturday of football season on covercrimson.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We continue, and the Champions Club at Greystone. It is the Regions Tradition presented by Coca-Cola. RegionsTradition.com for tickets this weekend. The Pro-Am going on just to our left. We're on the 10th green here. But this...
Got a chance.
Oh, you got a putt that way?
Oh, Kirby
for
smart.
birdie. Oh, was that Kirby?
Yeah,
that
Kirby.
is Kirby.
Top left on this par 3. Had a chance for birdie. Just blew it past the hole. Not an easy comebacker there, but he had a good angle to it. Just too hard for Kirby on this number 10 par 3.
Is he marking?
He is going to mark it.
Par is your friend. Pick it up, Kirby. Go to the cart. You can't make worse than a par in this thing. That keeps play moving, buddy.
I did not know that to be the case.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing with Davis Love III, his first ever appearance out here.
Right.
For Davis Love III.
You think Davis Love has had any conversations with Belichick and his girl?
Why would Davis? Oh, because he's a North Carolina guy.
How about me knowing that?
I forgot about that. Yeah, I was trying to make the connection there. So Kirby coming through right now. So some of the big names working their way through the 10th.
Yep.
Davis Love the third, Kirby Smart, and a rest of the group there. I'm assuming some Georgia boosters.
Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, left it short and left.
Oh, is Sankey in this group?
Yeah, he'll try to putt it off of the green to try to save birdie for this team. Good speed.
You think Kirby's bitched at Sankey about something today?
Oh, I don't know. If Sankey missed that, he's gonna be grouchy again.
I opened the door.
You started it
when after Kirby had hit. When I said the guy who did not schedule Georgia at Alabama, at Texas, and at Ole Miss this year, and Kirby gave me that. I'm gonna kill you look.
Yeah. We start the lunch hour Dunaway, which is always presented by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken.
Yeah, as I tell you about Champy's, I'll tell you that Kirby, you wonder why he comes back here so much.
Yeah.
The Regions Tradition, his pairing partner every year happens to be the CEO of Regions. So Regions.
Georgia grad, maybe?
Pretty good sponsor.
Yeah,
the SEC. Kirby's always here and always kind with the fans that are Georgia fans and former Alabama fans that remember the great times. That includes our buddy Sterling, who remembers Kirby's national championships in Tuscaloosa. If you're looking for a great place for lunch today, Champy's Chicken right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Chicken that's brined overnight, cooked to order. Unbelievable chicken fingers. And don't forget the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's our friends at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go and check them out.
We are about to unveil our 40 and 40 team, number 39. We started yesterday with number 40, Tulane. Georgia will appear later as Kirby Smart comes through.
You don't know that. Well, I
do know that.
Yeah.
If they pop up today, it's going to be a big surprise.
Listen, if Georgia is not in a top 40, I mean, the next time Georgia is not in a top 40,
Kirby will not be the coach.
Oh, Kirby may be in the ground by then. I mean, there are just some programs like if you rank 40 teams, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, you can't even envision them not being in there right now.
Not at all.
No, you can't. I mean, truthfully, Alabama was probably closer this year than it's been in a while.
Yeah, but to say closer, that means they're not in the top 5. Maybe.
This past year. Now, this year, I expect them to do good things, but the next time they're 8-4, 8-4 is a slippery slope to 6-6. So if you start going in that direction, you don't want to drop four losses on anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
You will never see him have 4 losses in a season.
Who, Kirby?
Yeah.
Okay. I was talking Kalen DeBoer there, but yeah,
but
I don't think Kirby either.
Yeah, I mean Kirby year 1, I just don't see it again, right?
What's unbelievable is you can make a case right now. You can make a case right now that Kirby doesn't make the playoffs this year.
I know you're talking regular season, Lance, but they had 3 losses last year. They lost to Alabama, Ole Miss, and Notre Dame. I mean, that's 3 losses. He wasn't that far off from 4 losses.
Yeah,
you're talking regular season.
I'm going to 8-4 in the regular season. I can never foresee that.
I would agree.
But you see what I'm saying, though, that you can make a case that they did not make the playoffs this year.
I think I had them 8 or 9. I mean, I still think they're going to be in the playoffs. I do think this is one of those unique years where Kirby can talk about nobody is saying a word about Georgia. Like we literally are. Because, and I go back to this, Indianapolis, the day after they won the national championship, his first, we were talking about, he came out and motivated by poor mouthing and nobody's talking about us. That wasn't necessarily true. A lot of people were talking about Georgia making a run to play for a national championship. I think this is the first time I can remember, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, since his 3rd season that nobody is really saying that they've got an opportunity to win a national championship.
And really it's quarterback, but, you still question the skill positions. Can they run the football when they want to run the football like Georgia has in the past? You don't really question their defense, but you know, I know the way my poll looks. LSU, Texas, Alabama, Georgia gets in, but they're getting in as the fourth SEC team for me, and there's no guarantee you get 4 SEC teams in.
I think we get 5 this year.
I think I had 5 in as well.
I think I probably did too. I don't think that's going to be a huge surprise to anybody. All right, let's do it. It's our 40 and 40. First of all, it's presented by our friends at Champions Boxing.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to get back out to the gym yesterday. It's located conveniently in Pelham. Jake, just one of the best dudes in the world. He did a one-on-one training with me and Jack, my son. So not only is this like a father-son building thing, you know, Jack's trying to find his lane, what he wants to do as far as like competition and different sports, and he's absolutely loving the boxing experience. I've done a lot of different fitness things, a lot of different gyms, from CrossFit to just regular workouts. This is one of the most challenging, awesome things that I've done. Finally got in the ring yesterday. First time I've actually ever been in a boxing ring. But me and Jack got to do some work in the ring yesterday. All ages, starting at 9 years old. 8 USA boxing certified coaches, not only in boxing, but strength and conditioning. They've got everybody from an 8-year-old to a 50-year-old housewife that just wants to get in shape. They've got something for everyone out there. Anyone looking for that workout that's a little different from, you know, throwing up a barbell, come check them out. Any former athletes out there looking to try another sport to compete in after high school and college, this is perfect for you. The official sports boxing coordinator for the 2025 World Police and Fire Games held in Birmingham this coming July. No pressure to spar, but if you do, it's 100% safe and controlled. Check it out, championsboxingal.com.
All right, so we do it leading up to these SEC Media Days, the 40 shows leading up to the SEC Media Days. So as you listen, you always know just how close we are to SEC Media Days. We are today 39 shows away. Yesterday, the Tulane Green Wave Group of 5 team out of the American. The American appeared as team number 40. Today, we go to team number 39, the Naval Academy. The Midshipmen. I mean, this is a team that kind of has earned their spot in the top 40 discussion every year. I mean, there's times where you think of them as like a 1-11 team. Maybe they find a win somewhere.
You know, 21, 22, 23 wasn't good. They bounced back with 10 wins last year. I've got them in my top 25 this year.
Do you?
Wow.
Blake Horvath coming back at quarterback. You know, the unfortunate thing for these military academies, obviously they can't go to the portal.
Right.
You know, they're kind of hamstrung with that roster they've got. But Horvath is that good of a quarterback, over 1,200 rushing yards last year. This is going to blow you away. So they were 6th nationally rushing. No surprise there, right?
Not at all.
They were 3rd in yards per completion.
I mean, it's they bait you in, and they hit you deep, and that's where they get that.
But they were it was a completely different Navy kind of approach last year because they took more shots. They were 9-0 when they completed 50% passes. Horvath coming back this year, I think the offense will be even better. And you look at the schedule; they're going to be favored in 10 games.
Yeah, it is not a back-breaking schedule for the Naval Academy.
Yeah, but they're at Notre Dame.
They are
in prime time. On NBC.
November 8th, but they should start 8-0 before they get to South Bend.
Do they have Memphis on their schedule?
They do. It comes after Notre Dame, and it is on the road in the Liberty Bowl.
The only 2 games they'll be underdogs in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they win the rest. They go 10-2. I think they're going to be in the mix, possibly to get a college football playoff berth.
Memphis was at the back end of my top 25. They were my group of 5 team to make it out ahead of Navy.
Navy did beat Memphis last year, and they beat Oklahoma.
As I tell you guys often, we're not playing this last year. We're playing it this year. I like Memphis ahead of Navy. They've also got Army. May play Memphis in back-to-back weeks, which will be weird as we always bring that up often. But for those that don't recognize the logos, that's VMI, that's UAB.
Yep.
UAB's got to get better soon, right?
They do.
Tulsa, Rice, Air Force, always an interesting game. Temple, FAU, North Texas. Not a bad team there. Then the stretch.
That's in Denton. And then after Notre Dame, you know, even if they were able to spring the upset, I think they've beat Notre Dame like twice in 50 years. Then you got a tricky South Florida team, which should be improved this year.
That's right. North Texas, Notre Dame, South Florida, Memphis, American Championship. Probably need to only lose to Notre Dame there to still be the highest ranked group of 5 team.
And I don't know how long we'll need to point this out, but that Army game that comes after the American will have no impact on college football playoff seeding. The seeding will be determined after conference championship weekend. So that Army game, I don't want to call it an exhibition because it will still carry meaning, but in terms of college football playoff berths, it is certainly an exhibition. It has no impact whatsoever on that.
If you're going to have a special season, you've got to be undefeated going into November. They got to be 8-0.
Yeah. So you guys are all in Navy better than Army this year.
I think I am, yes.
Yeah.
Blake Horvath is the key to that.
Yeah.
That's the other side of it. You talk about Lance Howe.
I mean, they beat Army last year with Bryson Daly, and they won the Commander-in-Chief trophy, beating Air Force and Army. I think Navy will be better this year. I don't think Army's going to be as good.
That's the thing you talk about. They can't hit the portal, but the good side of it, I don't know how much this outweighs the other side, Dunaway, but if you find a quarterback that can run that system and he's good as a freshman or sophomore, you know you've got him 4 years. You're not losing him to the NFL. You're not losing him to the portal. That guy's going to be there a while, and that's what they've got in Horvath. So the Navy Midshipmen team, number 39 in our 40 and 40, will do it every single show leading up to SEC Media Days presented by Champions Boxing. It would be cool, I guess, to see a service academy in the playoffs. I mean, you think they're probably going to get blown out once they get to the playoffs. That's the sad thing.
What I would hate to see, though, is they get put in the playoffs, and then one of those teams, whether it's Army or Navy, loses that game.
Yeah, or loses a quarterback in a win or something like that, you know?
It could be such a blemish.
But I'm telling you, we're playing that game after you're in there, and, you know, Army pulling the upset over Navy. I mean, last year was sort of a coin flip game, I thought.
Oh, that was, to me, going into the game, it was the best two teams at the same time we've ever seen in that game in my lifetime.
In recent memory that I can think of. That they've been equally bad before.
Right. Yeah.
But it was the best two that they've ever been.
And normally it's, you know, one of the teams is good, the other team's not good.
That's right.
They're a double-digit favorite.
And you got one team that's just fighting, trying to stay and make it an interesting game.
We were asked in the chat by Charles, worst program historically, Rice or Temple? That's got to be two of the worst of all time.
I would say Rice. Just because I remember Matt Rule. I remember, Dunaway, you might be able to do this a little bit better. I forgot who the running back for Temple was that came in third in Heisman voting in the mid-'80s, and they came to Alabama to play at Legion Field. That was a pretty good Temple team. And then Matt Rule, I don't remember any Rice teams being good ever.
They used to have some way back in the Southwest Conference days. I mean, I think they were a Cotton Bowl team back in the day, but that is a long time ago.
Rice was
I think Rice is playing I think Rice is playing.
I mean, I bet they went to see a game at the Cotton Bowl. I bet they never played one. They might have played in a regular season game.
You don't think Rice has ever played in a Cotton Bowl?
Were they named after Grantland Rice?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Do y'all like rice?
Rice
I had some last night.
Wild rice or white rice?
I like them both. Last night we made burrito bowls at the house. And
wild rice so much better.
It was really good. I had rice.
Fried rice. Yeah,
fried rice.
I had fried rice on Sunday, Mother's Day. It was the easiest place to get
Hibachi, did they give you too much rice though to try to load you up?
No, there's never too much rice. I can choose.
I love the rice with the yum sauce.
By the way, I've done that on Mother's Day too. If you don't do the reservations, the Chinese place is normally easy to get into.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. I am here.
I had basically a Asian bowl on Sunday, and then I had a burrito bowl last night. So,
yeah.
So
are we getting away from bread?
No. It's just what was on the menu. So I had rice in both of those, fried rice and then the.
Don't you always feel kind of better about yourself if you get a bowl?
I do.
Not even know it.
Yep.
I used to feel really good about salads until this FDA rule where if you had over 25 locations nationwide, you had to start putting the caloric count on there. And Jack used to love going to California Pizza Kitchen. Smelled like absolute shit in that building, but I would go because he loved it so much. Try to get an outdoor table when it wasn't cold. But I always feel good about myself when I order a salad, but you look at the calorie count on the salads.
Yeah, especially when you throw certain dressings on and then 2 or 3 of those.
1,500 for a salad.
Yeah. Sometimes you're better with the burger and the fry.
Yeah.
I was kidding with our friends at Walk-Ons the other day. It had been a minute since I'd been in there. So I text both Matt and Ken because they took my favorite salad off the menu.
Yeah.
My go-to salad is no longer on the menu.
Did you file a strongly worded complaint?
Well, I did. And Matt, I just texted him really quick. What the H? No Avery Island salad?
It is good. The Avery Island is good.
Matt, of course, being the great customer service person he is, he's like, hey, tell whoever's in charge that Matt said to make you an Avery Island. We can still make it back there. We just took it off the menu.
Yeah, I did learn that trick a long time ago. One of your regular spots you go to, if they take something off the menu, they still know how to make it.
Yeah.
Keith says, wasn't Bama playing Rice when the old boy came off the bench to tackle the guy? That's how I remember they were in the Cotton Bowl. That was against Rice. Yes, that is when I got too much Bama in me. Came off the bench and tackled the guy. They played in the 37, 49, 53, 57 Cotton Bowls. They played in the Sugar Bowl in 1960. They played in the Orange Bowl in 1946.
What have they done since we've been alive?
1961, they played in the Blue Bonnet Bowl. There was this old boy named Jess Neely that was the coach there, and he took them to a lot of bowl games.
Yeah,
but he died apparently.
Okay,
and from 1961 until 2006, they didn't play in a bowl game. That's how bad Rice football was. Can you name the coach that took them to the 2006 bowl game?
Ken Hatfield.
Nope. New Orleans Bowl, 2006. They played Troy. They lost 41-17.
Was Ken Hatfield a good guess?
Good what?
Good guess?
Yeah, he coached at Rice. So that made it a good guess.
Where'd he go? Rice, Arkansas Air Force?
I think that is right. Yeah, he could make it at Arkansas. This guy left Rice, and I think his next stop was Arizona State.
Oh, Todd Graham.
Todd Graham. Yep.
Wow.
Todd Graham took him to a bowl game.
His Janet Jackson microphone.
That's right. The single mic made him look like he was doing Madonna stuff to the wristbands.
You want a Frosty with that?
Buzz cut. Nobody liked Todd Graham.
Okay, you need to inform your team you're taking another job. How are you going to do it? I'm going to send a text.
That's right. They play at Rice. They got to know I've took them to a bowl. I've taken them to a bowl game. I'm getting another job.
I am never going back to that shithole again in my life.
1961 to 2006 was their bowl drought.
But I mean, to their defense, I mean, much like Temple, they're a really good academic institution, right?
Yeah, I think Rice is a very good. We've actually got a mutual friend that graduated from Rice. Our buddy Spud. I don't know if y'all knew that. That's where
the only Rice grad I know.
Only Rice grad I know is Spud. We're going to talk about a friend of a show that's making a move. But first, I want to tell you about our guy, Brad Bell, AlabamaBathRemodels.com. That's AlabamaBathRemodels.com. It's who redid the master bath in the Brown house. And he can do it in your house as well. Brad specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closet remodels. That's his specialty. It's not to say it's all he does, but it is definitely his specialty there at AlabamaBathRemodels.com. The reason I point that out as his specialty is because that is what pops when you go to sell your house. You go to sell your house, people are going to notice the master bath, the kitchen, and the master bedroom closet. So if you're tired of that outdated or dysfunctional room in your home, let Brad come fix it for you. Here is his number, 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758, or see more online, AlabamaBathRemodels.com. That is AlabamaBathRemodels.com. Brad Bell, tell him I want that Brown and LT treatment. I want to redo my house the way they have done it with Brad, and you can do it as well. AlabamaBathRemodels.com. AlabamaBathRemodels.com. You guys, we always get great feedback when T-Bob comes on. And I know a lot of times he's taking shots at Alabama fans, and Alabama fans don't like it. But I think sometimes they step back and like, yeah, but the guy is really funny in what he does. He's high energy. It's always a wild trip when T-Bob comes on. And I'll say this, while he takes shots at Alabama, he's very honest about LSU. And I do think he gives Alabama the props that they deserve. He announced today that he is leaving his show with our buddy Jacob Hester down in New Orleans and is relocating, I believe, to Chicago to work for Barstool. That's a heck of a move by T-Bob.
I'm surprised it took this long. Such a talented guy, perfect fit. I think he was kind of wasting his talent. Now he can be full out wall-to-wall T-Bob. It's just a perfect fit for him.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think Dunaway, like or hate Barstool. That's not what this discussion is about. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the audience. If you look at Barstool, I don't think anybody embodies their spirit more than T-Bob.
Yeah, I guess because he's unique and you know he creates stuff out of his own mind. So
yeah, it's a wild place.
Nobody else is like him. So yeah, I think T-Bob is one of a kind.
As much as
we could never afford T-Bob, but boy, I would have loved. But I mean, Barstool's such a better fit for him. You know, it's just to me, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's a great fit for T-Bob. So congrats to friend of the show, T-Bob Hebert, who is headed to Barstool. As much as he's done on our show, and he's done some wild, crazy stuff on our show, I love having T-Bob on every time. When I say T-Bob Hebert, the thing that jumps to my mind the quickest, and I don't know if you guys remember this, is that LSU-Tennessee game, I believe it was, in Baton Rouge, where Tennessee thinks they've won the game. They end up, they've got 13, 14 guys on the field. Do you remember that?
2010?
Yeah, LSU gets another play. The way I remember this is LSU gets another play, They don't score on that play, and then Les Miles can't get another play in, and the clock runs out.
Yep.
T-Bob is the center, takes his helmet, slams it on the field, and glares right at the sidelines. He was so pissed off that his head coach wasn't prepared enough to get another play in, and that's what I always remember about T-Bob. As much crazy stuff as he's done, anytime his name is called, I just remember him slamming his helmet and staring at Les Miles.
I've seen him shirtless in a bar with boots on and shorts and a cowboy hat.
I've seen a lot of things.
Yeah, so that kind of jumps out. But yeah, that is one of those images.
Yeah,
him and Taylor singing Dixieland Delight this past year at SEC Media Days.
I do remember that.
That was that's my favorite.
That was the show. Kalen DeBoer coming through. Who's with DeBoer, Dunaway? Who else is playing with him? Do you remember? The Alabama football coach.
I know who Kalen DeBoer is. Ernie Els is his pro. I don't think there's another celebrity with him.
That is the Big Easy. I can tell him.
I think it's Kalen DeBoer, Ernie Els, and the chief financial officer of Regents.
So basically, you're saying Kalen DeBoer stands on his own as a celeb. That's all he is.
Is Ernie Els using the ball that I used?
Ernie Els is using a yellow ball. Lance, when he played, used an orange ball, I thought.
I used orange, and then I had a yellow, but it was, what was the brand?
Nitro.
Nitro.
Nitro. Lance had not played in forever. Somebody handed him a Nitro, and he played it.
Only going to endorse the Nitro ball.
You
Big
do not,
fan.
As I told Lance Dunaway, you see a lot of those places that advertise their the Tour Pros one with this one. You never see that with Nitro.
Yeah.
You're never going to see a Tour Pro one with Nitro.
I will tell you, Kalen DeBoer, of all the celebrities up on the first tee, you take pictures with the kids from Children's of Alabama before they were asked to engage in a picture taking, and then everyone's nice at that point.
Sure.
Kalen DeBoer walked up and passed by a number of dignitaries and whatever, and got down on the level of the kids on a knee and was talking to them. What's your name? And he was talking to them about their life and stuff. I've never seen anyone, I'm not saying anyone is bad with kids. I've never seen anyone better with kids, and especially with kids battling things at Children's Hospital, than Kalen DeBoer.
I will say, and look, I know Auburn fans don't like him because he's the Alabama coach. So there's probably some Alabama fans that are still trying to decide if they like him. He's a genuinely nice guy.
Unbelievable.
We've spent a lot of time around him, and I would say the same about Hugh. Hugh, we've just known him a lot longer, but Hugh Freeze is a genuinely nice guy. You don't find that all the time. I'm not going to say a lot, but all the time in coaching. People that when the camera is off and they're away from everything are genuinely nice people. And I'm not saying they're awful people. I'm just saying coaches are kind of cut a little bit differently. And both those guys are genuinely nice guys.
Oh, like Nick Saban, greatest to ever do it. Like he could piss on a media member's leg and he could get away with it.
People love it, by the way.
But, Saban would we have an interview, always cordial.
He would come in, he was friendly, but that was it.
Get up, gone. The first time I remember us meeting with Kalen DeBoer at the Alabama facilities, after the interview's over, he's pulling pictures of him at
Mount Rushmore. He was behind the scenes at Mount Rushmore. He was with us like another 30 minutes showing his pictures.
Yeah, he told a story on the air, and then when we were done saying our goodbyes, thank you, Coach, we were expecting him to get out, and he's like, hey, I've got some pictures of that Mount Rushmore thing on the phone, and he pulled them up. That's genuinely a nice guy.
I think you're going to see a couple things. Number one, when my 40 and 40 is unveiled, before that, when Taylor sends out my top 5 wide receivers in the Southeastern Conference, it's going to be a little surprising based on your two. I think you're going to see. I'm kind of high on Alabama this year. I think it's a pretty good Alabama team.
Oh, so you've got a third receiver
Not
from
necessarily. Not necessarily. I'm just saying.
I might have 2 Alabama receivers on my top 5.
Yours is already out.
Your top 5 went out yesterday.
Yeah, I saw what you did
last night.
Mine went out yesterday.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to get a little more aggressive on social.
Pay attention to your Twitter, or at least get Taylor to let you know when you sending it out.
Did not look at my Twitter yesterday.
I would say this, and I understand what everyone is saying about Jeremy Bernard. He obviously is a huge part of Alabama's success. But to say that he's a top 5 receiver in the SEC is incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was my opinion I was given. I did not realize it was not my opinion.
It's fine. I'm fine.
Yes, okay.
And he
was a top 5 receiver last year in the SEC. He will be again this year.
He can be the most productive wide receiver this year, which can happen. But when you're just talking about with no stats right now, you're looking at skill set.
Oh, I think he's a better receiver than Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
No, Jeremy Bernard is a better receiver than Ryan. Ryan Williams is more explosive.
He can put up more stats. I don't know if he's a better receiver.
I would trust Jeremy Bernard more than Ryan Williams, Cam Coleman, Wingo right now.
Yeah. Now, look, I put Ryan Williams number one because he is more explosive than any guy out there. I'll go and tell you, I've got him the top receiver.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a special year.
And I do think he's going to have a good year. I think if you consider everything, not just explosive plays, everything it takes to be a receiver, I personally believe Bernard is the better of the two.
I don't want to go high 22 on you, but I'm at a lot of the games and you're watching on TV. So you're handcuffed to what TV shows you. And this is no knock against Jalen Milroe, but it is. Ryan Williams at route running, unbelievable. And Milroe would miss him open all the time.
But if he would have hit him, he might have dropped it.
The time.
You don't think he did that to Bernard too?
All the time.
I mean, did Ryan Williams not have the most drops in the SEC last year?
I don't.
He and Coleman both struggle with that.
Yeah, I'm telling you that Ryan Williams was open so many times, and I'm not talking open behind the defense, open on a route, inside, throw it. Nope. Okay, he cuts back as you're rolling right. He cuts back out to the flat. He's open. Throw it. Nope. Okay, now he's going to sail down the sidelines. He's open. Lob it to him. Nope. I'm gonna run it. We'll run it for 5, or I'm gonna get sacked.
Moving the chains is the most important thing in football.
Yeah.
And if I was like Life Online, Ryan Williams or Jeremy Bernard to move the chains for you,
I'd go Bernard.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
And I've got Ryan Williams number one. You got Ryan.
I've got Williams number one. I'm not saying I'll have him number one. I'm just saying there's a lot that goes into being a receiver.
I can't believe Jimmy Alabama is sleeping on Jeremy Bernard.
I'm not sleeping on him. I don't understand how you're making an argument, you guys, that life on the line, I'm going to go Jeremy Bernard, but I'm going to put Ryan Williams number one on my list as a receiver.
Well,
that doesn't make sense.
Different skill set.
No, because
one is the best receiver. No. That's all I said. One is.
But we're projecting. This is not based on what they've done.
Right. We are projecting, right?
Yeah. So you're projecting Eric Singleton's going to be better than Jeremy Bernard, but that's a projection. It's not like fact.
Yeah, I am.
I mean, he was on a very, very average offense and a very, very average conference. And I think Singleton will be good.
So when the NFL guys start ranking Alabama wide receivers, will they have Ryan Williams before Jeremy
Everybody
Bernard?
will have Ryan Williams.
And we do too.
Now,
we do too.
Yeah.
In the NFL, they won't be in the same draft. So
you just seem like you're shitting on Jeremy Bernard.
No, I'm not. You guys are. I'm just making a point that he's going to have him in the top 5 because it's very popular with the Alabama fans to have Bernard in the top 5.
That is exactly why I'm doing that. Yes. All right. Hip Bill Services.
Wants to be
we can be
popular.
part of the show. Yeah.
Me too, man. I'm sucking up the Bama.
Sucking up the Bama.
205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. $1,000 off new HVAC units. That special is ending soon, so jump on it. For more information, hemphillservices.com. And remember, 0% financing as well. 205-229-2090.
Also, our guy Greg from Pell City can get up on that roof, Dunaway.
Greg from Pell City, he was questioning my math.
He was.
Of airplane crashes.
1% of planes crash.
1.8%.
1.8.
How many would go down a day?
Greg's like, it's like 400 plane crashes.
Greg says, doing my math, Dunaway, that'd be 450 plane crashes a day. Yeah. You think they'd be shorter?
Look, I don't want to fly to begin with. I know bad shit comes in threes, but
you wouldn't have to wait. Hey, you wouldn't have to wait at security.
Yeah,
You'd be right through.
Wouldn't need that star in your driver's license anymore.
No, they'd be begging you to get on the plane.
Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. There you see the information you need right there. 205-542-3531 is the phone number, right to his cell phone. Listen, don't fact check me. You're into that one there.
The lance is at the bottom. Time for a refill.
Fact checking there. 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Look him up there. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. He'll give you a free no-cost roof inspection. That's free, no cost, no obligation. He'll get on your roof and let you know what's going on up there. I was just cleaning out a folder the other day. One of our viewers, I'd saved an email and said, I'd already been quoted, thousands of dollars for a new roof and some other problems up there. And then I said, I listened to the show. I'm going to call Greg from Pell City, get him to come out. Greg got on my roof. He fixed a couple of easy problems up there that they were going to charge me for, and then told me I had 3 or 4 more years left on my roof. He's literally saved me thousands of dollars. That's what Greg from Pell City will do for you. 205-542-3531 or Greg from Pell City on Facebook.
All right, our college spotlight when we return, and trash as we continue from the Regions tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, the Champions Club on number 10 here at Greystone. More of the next round after this.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
If you're looking to expand business and inform the Next Round audience about your exciting brand, contact us. Send an email to sales@nextroundlive.com to be a part of the team and advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platform. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, and reach the most desirable audience for your business. Get information and more by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to take your business to the next level with the Next Round.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
The Legends of Golf return to Birmingham. It's the region's tradition, presented by Coca-Cola at Greystone, May 14th through 18th. See some of golf's greatest names like Ernie Els, John Daly, and Stuart Sink compete for one of golf's most prestigious titles. 4 days of thrilling shots, unforgettable moments, and world-class golf, all in support of local charities. The region's tradition, presented by Coca-Cola. Get your tickets now.
All right, Auburn fans, I want you to become a member of the Barn Athletics News. We've got it all. Get $25 off your annual subscription when you sign up for your account at thebarnauburn.com today. War Eagle.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
I'm attorney Alexander Shunnarah, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
All right, we continue on the next round as we are live at Greystone. It is the Region's Tradition presented by Coca-Cola. Tim Melton will have our spotlight open ready, the college football spotlight each day presented by our friend Alexander Shunnarah. Some news from the ACC meetings that have turned into college football playoff meetings from our guy Brandon Marcello. Tim Melton, if you will, please hit the button.
The College Football Spotlight.
The Shunnarah Spotlight presented each day by our guy Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys, a national firm with southern roots, headquartered in Birmingham for more than 24 years. They've grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. They've recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alex's core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Shunnarah.com. That is Shunnarah.com. Our guy Brandon Marcello is in Amelia Island, Florida. The college football playoff power brokers, he says, are nearing consensus to change the seeding process next season, eliminating first-round buys for conference champions. That's according to sources. I don't think this is a huge surprise, but it appears like by next year's playoffs, first-round buys for conference champions will be a thing of the past.
Okay, now are you saying this upcoming football season in 102 days?
He
because
says next season. I think he would say this season if he meant that. I can text Brandon if you want me
please
to.
do, or I can do it. To me, that's not surprising because we don't know what that's going to look like yet because it's 2026 is a new format.
He clears it up. 25-26. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So that's this year.
So that is this year.
Yeah, it's this year. So that's huge, and that tells me that what is happening now is they have forced the hand of everyone else, the SEC and the Big Ten, and that's going to lead to us, I would believe, in 2016. It's going to be 2026. We will have 16 teams. It'll be the 4 automatics for the SEC, 4 automatics for the Big Ten, 2 for the ACC, 2 for the Big 12, 1 for the Group of 5, 3 wild cards, and that'll be the new format that'll probably last the rest of our lifetime.
I wonder if Oregon and Georgia win their first-round games last year, is it different?
You're just saying because they were the 2 power conference champions that both got bounced in their first game.
I mean, every team that got a bye got bounced.
No, they did, but it's more notable when it's the SEC and the Big Ten.
I'm just saying if Oregon or Georgia goes on and wins the national, if they play each other for the national championship, are we talking about this?
Because they had to play a tougher team than they should have played.
Right. Well, Oregon had to play Ohio State.
That's right.
Yeah.
They had to play a tougher team.
No, I get that, but still, I mean, they were the number 1 seed. If they would have won that game.
Yeah, is this even magnified? You're saying it's magnified somewhat.
But the seeding was out of whack. They had to play a tougher game than they would have played because of the Arizona State and Boise State getting by.
Right. So
or whoever the other team was.
To finish up, the straight seeding proposal has gained support from the ACC and the Big 12 in recent weeks, to your point, Dunaway. More people getting on board now. On Wednesday, ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips said for the first time, the format may be the right thing for us to consider. The proposal requires unanimous approval from the 10 FBS conferences and Notre Dame to be enacted for the 25-26 season. So this could be this upcoming season if they can get the votes from Notre Dame and everyone else.
And they will because the Group of 5 people, they can easily say either you vote for this, or you lose your bid.
Yeah, or kick rocks.
Yeah,
kick rocks. That's pretty much the way it is. Do you guys have a problem with SEC and Big Ten having 4 each?
No, because that is going to open up to the Super Saturday.
If it's a 16-team format,
that's going to lead to what we all want. I think is that Saturday where 6 plays 3, 5 plays 4. And then 1 and 2 play for the championship already in the playoffs, and those are how you get your 4 teams. So the goal at that point is you just got to finish 6th or higher in the standings in the SEC or the Big Ten.
Have y'all noticed how big this gallery's gotten?
Oh, this is Barkley and Saban.
Yeah, Barkley and Saban. So, that's going to be your biggest draw.
So
is this Charles putting for the back? This is a hard putt for Charles.
E.G. and Maddie were watching Charles earlier.
Yeah.
And
slow down.
It's a terrible putt.
It's actually
great
a pretty
speed.
good shot.
Great speed, just a little too high. Thought it was going to break more.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot from where he was.
I mean, the speed is right, but he's 4 feet high.
Yeah.
But like after a couple of bad shots, just lost it.
Charles did.
Yeah. But I heard our man Maxon's got it on. He was recording.
Oh, let's hope.
So yeah, we. I guess we can play that, right, Scott?
Sure. Why not? Yeah. If the person that videoed it says we can play it, we can play it.
I was doubting this guy's chipping.
Who is that? Do you have any idea?
It's going to be David Jones.
Who is David Jones?
I don't know, Brown. I made up that name. I don't know who that guy is.
I thought you announced him on the first tee.
You think I memorized 144 golfers?
No, that was a hell of a shot.
It really was. Who's the pro in this group? Stuart Sink?
Yeah,
I think that's right. With Saban and Barkley.
Does Saban have his hat on?
He does.
You know he does.
He does.
The big sombrero.
Yeah, Brent, you had that hat on at Cinco.
I did. I had a big sombrero at Cinco. If I played in this and wore that, do you think there would be a reaction? There goes Saban. He's got the hat on. Of course he does.
How many of those hats do you think he's got, or you think it's one go-to?
Well, I think when he was coaching, he probably had the one because he was a fairly superstitious guy. And I would imagine now that he's not playing or not coaching, he just keeps it looking new.
And he didn't lose a lot with that hat on.
He did not. He won. Yeah, that superstition.
Who won that Florida State game? That was the
one?
first time I remember him wearing it when he went head to head with Bowden and.
Oh, Florida State won that game down in Tallahassee.
No, it was Orlando, wasn't it?
No, in Jacksonville. You guys, you guys were 0 for 2.
It wasn't Jacksonville. You're right. Yeah, it wasn't Jacksonville. We Tallahassee this year.
Yeah, I was closer.
You were. All right, that brings us to trash. It is presented each day by our friends at Bud Light. If you will, Tim Melton, hit that other button for trash.
Hey, is the judge still alive?
No, he passed away last Monday. So there you go.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 83. Here we go. Look at Ryan Brown.
No, he really did.
I can't believe you just did this. I can't believe this twice now.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. It's Bud Light. LT, walk us through the trash.
A lot of Bud Light out here today. So come out, join us, Regions. Have a couple of cold Bud Lights. We start first. Film-focused social media platform Letterboxd plans to launch curated TVOD, transactional video on-demand service, targeted at its 20 million strong cinema-obsessed user base. Now, Letterboxd unveiled the plans at the Cannes Film Festival on Tuesday, saying the Letterboxd video store would feature themed rental shelves highlighting film festival selections, overlooked titles, global cinema, and emerging filmmakers. Rentals will be available either on demand or within timed windows modeled after the festival screenings. Letterboxd TVOD service plans to curate its selections informed by user activity and enthusiasm across its site. They go on to say, quote, every day we see members recommending films to each other, adding to their watch list, and hungry to discover more. Company said details on territories, titles, and launch dates will be announced in the coming months. I bet Jurassic Park will be on there. Will you watch?
I'll watch if Jurassic Park is on there. I'll try to catch it before. I thought about it. When was I in front of the TV? How long is Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park is it's right at 2 hours. I would say.
Okay, I was in front of the TV the other day, and I didn't think I had enough time. I was going to start it. So I started Gladiator 2 on a flight back on spring break when we went to D.C.
It's good. It's not great.
It's good,
yeah.
But I've got like 30 minutes left. Is it worth the last 30 minutes?
I mean, my problem with Gladiator 2, have you seen it, Dunaway?
I have not.
The ascension of Denzel, basically from slave owner to running Rome in, I don't know, in 30 minutes.
That is starting. He's like in front of the council and he's pleading his case. And that's where I got to. The plane landed, so they cut the movie off and the plane lands. And I've never gone back and watched the end.
Yeah, it's good. The original Gladiator, I would say if I gave it a Rotten Tomato score, I'd say like a 97, and this one's probably like an 80.
Okay.
But it's good, solid.
I'll go catch that last 30 minutes.
Yeah, this Letterboxd thing made me think that ESPN is this close to delivering their programming straight to us, getting rid off of all the other services.
Oh, direct to consumer?
Direct to consumer. They're this close to doing that. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I bet it's in the next 18 months. When they do that.
But they'll never not be available. You're not saying they won't be available like on YouTube TV or anything?
I think they're going direct to consumer to where you have the choice to drop. Well, you have that now. Yeah. I think that's where they would not be. I mean, if they are no longer going to pay.
If they're 100% direct to consumer, then they are completely off the cable.
Right. And I think that's what.
They're launching that
my
this
question
fall,
to you, obviously, you're going
$30
to have
a
to
month.
get the ESPN app. You're going to pay whatever ESPN
I
says.
mean, they would have us over the barrel.
At that point, do you even have YouTube TV? Do you do
Probably
everything
not.
on the streaming at that point?
Probably so. I think ESPN, if they left YouTube TV or if they left any TV service, YouTube, DirecTV Stream, Charter, whatever, Spectrum, whatever that is, if they left any of that, I would be. I don't see a reason to have those.
Yeah. Then you just go.
Now,
would they be under Disney though? Would they be under that bundle?
No, this is going to be straight ESPN direct to consumer.
I'm sure for a price they would be, but yeah.
But it
could be a bigger price.
At that point, you're going to have Paramount to get the CBS programming, Fox to get the Fox programming, all those apps.
I think they've discussed what the price is going to be for this, and I forgot what it was, but
in my head, it'd be like $19.99 or something.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize, well, maybe a lot of people do realize this, but when you pay for YouTube TV every month, the thing you're paying the most for is ESPN.
That's right.
Whether you watch it or not, the price is where it is because of ESPN.
That's right.
That is the highest price that you are
How
that
bad
is factored into what you're paying.
If it was live games, in-season programming, whether it was college football or it was the NBA or Major League Baseball, if they completely had a separate channel, how many people would just subscribe to ESPN original programming?
Well, that's what
Very few.
You mean?
No, he's talking about just, like 30 for 30 and all that.
Zero.
Almost zero.
Yeah, I
Zero.
would really think so.
But if you had
a live programming that keeps you going back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Authorities in Edison say they executed the township's largest asset seizure to date during a raid on Thursday at a massage parlor suspected of prostitution and money laundering, recovering more than $750,000, including $600,000 in cash sewn inside of a giant teddy bear.
Oh, I hate when they do that.
The teddy bear. That seems out of bounds.
The year-long uncover investigation led by the Edison Police Department's Vice Unit targeted Bliss Spa and its 47-year-old manager, Danella Delanio. Police say they recovered $650,000 in cash, most of it in that stuffed animal, as well as a 2025 Tesla, Rolex, and a Cartier watch. Additional funds were seized from her bank account for bringing the total haul to a little under $755,000. She was charged with first-degree money laundering, second-degree promoting organized street crime, third-degree promoting prostitution, and a fourth-degree maintaining a house of prostitution. 4 women, aged 26 to 45, were both arrested on soliciting prostitution.
Like if I went through my dad,
45-year-old prostitute from New Jersey.
Yeah.
If I was going through my dad's stuff and found a box with $20,000 cash and 4 Cartier watches, would I think something suspicious?
Yes, you would. You'd be like,
Or not the 20,000. You think the old man won at bowling or darts, but the Cartier watches would be that doesn't seem like his sewing circle.
Yeah, you'd be. What was my dad up to that I didn't know about?
Yes. Yeah, I have found nothing like that.
Okay,
So
This is actually a funny story that I'll do this one first. Jude Law, Andrew Garfield, set to executive produce and play. What did I say?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me better career.
Oh, no.
It's not for now. It's trash.
Jude Law,
I'd go Jude Law over Andrew Garfield.
Nominated for an Academy Award, maybe Best Supporting Actor in The Talented Mr. Ripley. Andrew Garfield has been nominated for Academy Award.
The president?
No,
that's
an English actor that was in The Social Network.
James Garfield
okay.
is the president.
So anyway, these two are set to produce and play Las Vegas showman magician Siegfried and Roy in the new Apple Plus limited series Wild Things. Now, from writer, showrunner, and executive producer John Hoffman, co-creator and showrunner of Only Murders in the Building, based on the original podcast Wild Things, Siegfried and Roy. The 8-episode it tells the wild ride of relationship between the two greatest showmen / musicians in history, who, along with their white tigers, are tasked to turning Sin City into a family-friendly destination. Doesn't end well, by the way.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I remember. There's a dinner. There's a dinner scene.
Yeah, both. There is a dinner scene. It's one way to put it. Why
get mad at the Tiger? The Tiger's just been a Tiger.
This is not a drill.
And finally, when you guys were kids, what were you most afraid of?
Oh, wow.
I was afraid of getting abducted.
Yeah, I think
probably raped, tortured,
getting kidnapped,
dismembered.
For some reason, getting kidnapped was very high on the fear list when I was a kid. I don't know why.
I blame my mom for that, but
that wasn't a worry in the trailer park. No, they knew they'd have no ransom.
Well, that was the thing. I think my mom anticipated.
Would they have traded a loaf of Wonder Bread for you?
It'd be like, we're not going to take that kid. His parents would be like, one less mouth to feed.
I think my mom sensed that I was scared of being. There's Jamie Johnson right there, Lance. If you want to ask about how he looks now.
That's your 9 o'clock group.
Man, I would
came in a little hot.
Close to him with a cigarette, man.
He should have seen that putt in color.
Damn, he makes John Daly look kept.
He does. It was a really good Dunaway line that if you don't know Jamie Johnson's catalog is going to get lost.
Not his catalog, it's it.
That was very well done. I'll let you tell him when we interview him later. He's got one.
You did not say you wish you had his hair.
Yeah.
I would rather have your hair than his hair.
He's got a lot of it, man. I wouldn't shape it into the same shape he has it, but I'd take that hair.
You should have seen
the man is 60.
Oh. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
So anyway, I was just asking you guys what you were afraid of. This is pretty
getting
amazing.
kidnapped, yeah.
Casey Litton and her family visited D.C. for Thanksgiving when they decided to visit the Ford's Theater Museum as part of their trip. Did you visit that?
I've been outside Ford's Theater. I've heard the tour is good, but it's just difficult for me to think it's going to be a great tour. Like, you need to see the place where, Lincoln got his wig split, but that's pretty much it, right?
You never know how something is going to impact, though. So while walking around the museum, Litton told her 3-year-old daughter, Lainey, that they were at a historical site and needed to be respectful. Now, Cassie then gave Lainey a brief overview of what happened at Ford Theater, noting that someone named John Wilkes Booth had hurt the then President Abraham Lincoln.
Hurt is a bit of an undersell on that, by the way.
Look how this thing goes over. Okay. Now, Cassie went on to say, quote, she really held on to that. Although the mother of two tried to explain that it happened a long time ago, Lainey believed the threat was still present. She went on to say there's a statue downstairs in the museum, part of the theater. She said, is that him over there? I responded, no, that's not him. This happened a long time ago. She was already on edge, so when we went for the presentation and they were talking about Abraham Lincoln and how it all went down that day, she really held on to it. She was fixated on Abraham Lincoln and the whole rest of the trip. When they went to the Lincoln Memorial a few days later, Lainey recognized the statue as the man who got shotted, quote.
Shotted?
Yeah, from that day forward, Lainey had a new fear. While Cassie says the mentions of Booth are not a, quote, everyday occurrence, she does say they tend to find its way into our day-to-day conversations. She went on to say, quote, we were at church one Sunday. The preacher was talking about how Jesus loves us. She looked at me and said, Mommy, I love Jesus. I said, that's awesome. I'm glad you do. She then said, Jesus loves us. I said, that's right. She said, you know who we don't love? I said, who? She said, John Wilkes Booth.
Well, that's true. I mean, I'd like for you to try to love him.
She went on to say it's not something we try to bring up to her, but she's aware that John Wilkes Booth was not a great guy. Cassie occasionally has to reassure Lainey that Booth is not in her room or under her bed at night. Quote, she was afraid to lie in her
Lincoln thought, though, too.
bed one night. It's okay. You're safe. You're in your room. Nobody can bother you at your own house.
I'm sure somebody told Lincoln he was safe in the theater, too.
That's when young Lainey said, yeah, but what if John Wilkes Booth is hiding under my booth or hiding under my bed? Like, what if he's hiding? So she said that she is very, very consumed with John Wilkes Booth.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. That is also trash, presented by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. As we leave here today, we're going to revisit our Bojangles Tender Moment of the day. Tyler is going to put up the photo one more time. I think this is a perfect photo of Scott and his two daughters. His daughter Haley, for just joining us, senior at Moody. They just won the state softball championship. It is our Bojangles Tender Moment of the day. Don't forget, at Bojangles right now, you can go get those hand-breaded tenders. They are great anytime. It is always bow time at Bojangles. So we end the show with that great photo of a great dad. That is Scott Forrester holding his daughter Haley as she is on her way to, not Carson Newman, no, Freed Hardman. On a volleyball scholarship.
Christian school in Tennessee.
Memphis area of Tennessee.
What made you say Carson Newman?
I said it earlier. I don't know. So two names. Carson Newman, Freed Hardman. They were a lot alike.
She's not going to William and Mary either.
Not William and Mary. Yeah. Our Bojangles Tender Moment of the day. Congrats to Haley. Congrats to the Forrester family and all of Moody softball. That's going to do it from the Regions Tradition, regionstradition.com. Come enjoy it. Scott's got the hat to prove that his team won the state championship. Regions Tradition presented by Coca-Cola. We'll see you tomorrow from the studio. And this is the next round.